Marvelous chats with the marvelous chaps. Boom! Wearing my Bronxy hoodie today.
Ooh. The charity one?
Yes, sir. I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see the logo. It's kind of weird, but
Well, I
can't really see
I
the
have,
logo. But
no, I
it's
have no idea why.
it's faded,
why
but
they-
it's cool. I like it.
I have no idea why they placed that like center, like right here. No.
I love that. Oh my god. Yo, Jokey, what's up, dude?
What's going on? How you guys doing today?
Good, good. What did we think of the episode, everybody?
Ooh, we're already there?
Well, I just
Right.
quick. I think Max is going to join us, so we can wait a minute. But I gotta say that the Zemo jam, I actually had tears rolling down my face. I was laughing so much. I thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was.
Look, he's a Baron, man. He can get it. You know what I mean? He knows how to get down.
Oh my god! It was just the fist bump. I was losing it. Yeah, I thought it was incredible. It was so funny.
Yeah, well,
That's good.
I think we're just gonna loop Zemo fist bumping for rest of this episode.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
No.
Not at all.
Annie, what's up? How are you? Zemo was amazing.
Yeah.
He was up. Sharon was an absolute badass.
Max Luthor, bro. What's he doing?
I'm gonna text him right now. Sorry, give me one sec.
Babe.
So unprofessional. Oh my god.
He's so unprofessional.
Ay.
All right, there we go.
So how you doing, teammates?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
we're good.
Congratulations, brother. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
That's so funny. Hey, you guys are gonna see me chug. I gotta chug some medicine.
Hell yeah. I heard on the stream you were saying you think you might be coming down with something.
Yeah, man. Woo! We're going down.
Timber.
I know. But my girlfriend just got a COVID test today. And she is negative, so
Oh,
Sweet.
that's positive news.
That's good. You don't leave the house
She
too
was-
much either, do you?
nah.
Yeah, so you're probably safe.
Yeah. Like she works in the restaurant business, so she's the one that like, you know, is exposed all the time.
Yeah. Oh my
So
god.
Nice.
The main man.
I'm gonna turn my camera off while I chug this. I want people to see how much of medicine I take.
That much?
Hell
They're
yeah.
like, that's not safe. You shouldn't do that. That's not good.
I love that all have fireplaces on.
Yeah, it's
We're
fantastic.
classy.
My I actually got like the light on the back of my TV is set up with like Alexa, so I can get it to change colors and stuff. And when I call for it to turn orange, it like doesn't really. It goes like a more of a kind of yellow. So I configured it to get like a really proper bright orange. In person, it looks amazing, but on the camera, it looks terrible. It's like white. It looks nearly white, like. But it's now you want to see it in person. It's like it's the drunky orange. Like it pops.
You gotta adjust your white balance.
Oh, bro, I'm not even. I just don't even know.
My man doesn't know about cameras. He spent
No.
too long uncammed.
Yeah, I don't mess with cams, bro. I'm not a cam person.
Well, when you
Yo,
get,
Bar,
your-
what's up, dude? How
get
are
your
you?
house, when you get your house,
Oh, bro, like I'm going full out with everything when I get the house. Like I have a project in a room. Then you know, like I'm
Yeah.
very much so at the moment living in kind of just borrowed time, borrowed space. Like like I was like 2 or 3 minutes late coming on because like the kitchen is like just right. See where that shelf is behind me? The kitchen's just beside it. So I had to like wait because my girlfriend was like making like a smoothie, so she was using a blender, so I couldn't turn the mic on. So, these are apartment problems.
There are
Right.
apartment problems.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I live in it's 39 square meters, my apartment, so it's super small.
My
I
girlfriend's
don't know what that is in American units, but yeah.
My girlfriend's in the
I don't
chat.
even
She
know.
goes, "He'll do the stream room. I'll do the rest of the house." Deal. Smoothie, by the way. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I know we didn't talk last week, so I suppose. Look, I don't know where Mex is, but we'll just kick off. I suppose he can just jump in the call. He's got the Discord right, so he'll probably just pop in when he's ready.
Yep.
But yeah, so last week's episode, I didn't watch it twice. Anders, you watched it twice, you said, so you probably are a little fresher on it than me. But I don't know. I just kind of I really liked it. It was up my alley. I know me and you have talked about it, Drunky, kind of in Twitch chats and stuff, but it's it was really my speed last week's episode. Like, it was like where I want to see the TV go, like the show going. I just, you know, I just felt like it was an exact kind of just takeoff and continuation of the likes of Civil War and stuff like that. That kind of vibe, like proper Captain America vibes. I love John Walker. I know you're supposed to hate him, but I love the character, and I think he's your man Wyatt Russell, Kurt Russell's son. I think he's playing really well as the part. Here he is. And yeah, I don't know. I just think, like, from what I've read up, I didn't really know much about. I'll be honest, I didn't really know much about John Walker before the episode. I say it every week. I don't really read many Marvel comics. I'm a DC comic fan, but from what I've read about him, the comic book storyline sounds very interesting. It's like, it sounds really good, and obviously I know they're not going to probably be able to do a lot of that in the show, obviously, with the way that the MCU storyline has gone, unless they start bringing in like multiverse versions of Steve Rogers or something. But in the comics, they might absolutely. Like, I don't know how long Wyatt Russell's going to last. Like, do you think he'll transfer into the movies and be part of something bigger? Maybe in Spider-Man 4 or reception.
I think it depends on the reception. I think they can write him in if they feel like, that would be a good beneficial.
Yeah.
But if they get a backlash from it, no, they can just write him off.
Like, they could absolutely bring him into the movies or whatever, but to like what end? You know, like, where does he fit into like the movies? I think. Yeah. You know, where I think like I was talking about with Monica Rambeau during WandaVision, is they're gonna want like big characters that are just inside of the Disney Plus series that are just like, you know, they're part of the MCU and they can reference them and maybe bring them in maybe for a cameo here and there, but mainly they're just like, they're Disney Plus characters. They're big characters there.
Yo, Joe, what's up? How are you?
I think
Tara, how are you?
But I think it was fun that, I mean,
stream's going well, Tara. We're just doing a bit of a discussion here on Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Like, almost everyone apart from the Shrink is a Captain America at some point during.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah, Isaiah and his son, even Lamar is Captain America or has the shield at some point. So it's super interesting that.
Yeah, I think. I just don't like. Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. Is it going to go into, like, they're definitely building up the Young Avengers? Like, that is 100% happening. But is that
why is everyone so excited about the Young Avengers? Am I missing this? Like, I am so not excited about the Young Avengers. Like, I'm just terribly like, all right, they're young kids who like do stuff. Like,
I don't know. I think people are just big on the whole team up thing. Like, it's always been a thing. Like, you know, they love to see multiple characters on screen at the same time. It's you know, it's always cool to see. Like, I always kind of got a bit hyped when the DC guys used to do it on TV. You know, like you'd be watching the Green Arrow show, and then like the Flash would come into Green Arrow, and then like, you know, Supergirl would come in, and you'd be like kind of like, oh shit, you know. Whereas I think that's what's going to happen now. They're going to slowly start introducing all these people. You're going to get Kate Bishop showing up in the Hawkeye show, and you're going to get the likes of, in this show probably, Isaiah's nephew is probably, if he doesn't already have super strength, he'll get it. And then he, you know, like, if any kind of images and stuff I've seen of him, like, he doesn't actually have Steve's shield. He has like a different shield. I don't know if it's like
he has that like old school one, right? That's like more of like a medieval shield shape, whatever, like the first one Captain had.
Exactly, yeah. So I don't know, maybe if they give him that, or if he kind of makes his own one or something like that. I'm not too sure, but I don't think he gets Steve's shield. I think that's going to be a separate thing, you know?
You think his like grandpa's got his shield hidden away? He's like, here you go, bud.
Yeah, that's it. Because like in the comics, like, he was the Black Captain America, and they sent him on missions, and obviously he fucked Bucky up. I would say he was full blown in secret, but full blown in Cap outfit with a shield and everything. I think that's definitely realistic. Yeah. Yeah. My lady agrees with you, Drunky, on the whole kind of team up thing. She doesn't give a shit either.
It's not even about the team up thing. It's just about the Young Avengers. And maybe I'm just like, I got my own like pet peeve about like young teens saving the world. I'm like, woo, it's exciting. Like, I just don't like that like kind of trope in any kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so like when it comes to, like, the Young Avengers, I'm just kind of like I'm just not excited about it. I'm just, you know, I see a lot of people excited about it. I'm happy they're excited. I'm not trying to take away from it. I just like, everyone keeps like like what the Young Avengers are really that exciting to people? Like aside from just a team up thing,
yeah,
it's kind of like I'm just like
it's kind of like their answer to the Teen Titans. You know, the team of sidekicks. I think that's what they're trying to. You know, obviously like Kate Bishop would be Hawkeye's sidekick and so on. So I think it's just it's their kind of answer to Teen Titans, and Teen Titans is very successful. So I suppose it's like, you know, let's get a little sidekick team going.
Well, I'm super excited to see Vicken and Speed grown up, and I'm absolutely excited to see how they do Vicken and Hulkling's relationship.
Yeah, if it happens, like
if it happens, and I mean if they have to introduce Hulkling in that case, but like how would they actually do that as a PG-13 at least?
Yeah,
kind of movie.
I don't know who Hulkling is.
Hulkling is a shapeshifter.
Okay.
I don't know if he's related to what's her name, the She-Hulk.
Young Justice was great, Annie. I loved Young Justice.
Okay. So is he like a Hulk's like little kid or something?
Yeah, exactly. And he can be super strong. But he's a shapeshifter. And he has a huge part in House of M.
Yeah.
And he and Vicken, Wanda's son, has a relationship, which is like, the first love relationship in Young Avengers at all. And I think that's quite fun to see how they will do that on screen. So I'm looking forward to that, especially.
Gotcha.
Should we introduce Max?
Max is here. Hey, bud.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm late, sorry.
Someone in my chat just goes, I wonder what Hulkling's feet smell like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably like Vicken.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I just think, I think we touched on it briefly, I think on your stream, Drunky. I think the comedy seems a little flat, and I think it's like the absence of the Russo brothers, which makes complete sense to me. There are some lines that they're funny. Like, I think Bucky's really funny in it, but they're not hitting like proper comedy written lines, like, you know. But it doesn't really bother me that much. I'm fanboying over Bucky more and more as it goes on. Like, I loved him in this week's episode. I thought he was fucking brilliant. Like, you know, when he was in the nightclub and he starts like smashing people up and all, I just thought, I was like, oh, this is epic. Like, I love that stuff.
See, that's why I felt like this episode, like Bucky goes like kind of like he shows up as a Winter Soldier, like he's like taking care of people. I just felt like the second episode was really like kind of a letdown for me. It really almost made the entire, like, I got kind of discouraged for the entirety of like the Disney Plus Marvel shows, because I just felt like everything was a little flat and a little sloppy. And it's a TV show, right? There's a lot more moving parts like week to week that they're trying to get done, and a lot more filming that they have to do than a 2-hour film, right? Of
course.
So I feel like there's just things that like are like less, or just more sloppy. It's not like you were saying, you know, the dialogue just doesn't hit as much. The action scene just kind of was a little bit too cheesy and too convenient in the second episode, where they just don't have time or the budget to do stuff like they could do in a movie. And as you know, great is going to be to see more Marvel stuff from week to week. It's kind of like MCU's losing that, you know, that shine, that Christmas, that like, man, this is how good it is to be like in the MCU. Like when it hits, like, man, it's like good, it's quality. And I think that's just gonna get lower and lower. I was a little depressed by it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So
I understand that. Yeah.
Let me get hot takes. Do you guys think John Walker has abilities? Do you think he's a super soldier already?
Nope.
Not yet, but I think he's definitely gonna be. Zemo killing that the scientist who recreated the serum, like, you're kind of like, oh, it's over, but there's no way it's over. Like, you know, he said he made 20 vials, and like how many what are they called, the smashers,
the flag smashers,
how many of them are there? There's like 7, 8
well,
I think.
There was 8 in that scene.
Yeah, so I think, you know, you've got a vial for John Walker, you've got a vial for his partner. Sam's definitely taking one. You know, 100%. He has to, especially if he takes over as Cap by the end, which I think is going to happen. I think he'll get the shield back. Bucky is 100% trying to get the shield. You know what I mean? Like that's Bucky's mission, is to take the shield back, and I don't think he's going to take it himself, but I think Sam's going to have the shield by the end, and he'll be Captain America then going into Spider-Man 3 or something like that. Like it'll all link up somewhere.
Isn't that really the cause of the whole series? Like Sam saying I'm not worthy, and then in the end saying I am worthy.
Yeah. Which I brought this up to a couple people, is like kind of genius from Marvel. Because first off, I think John Walker has superpowers already. I think he does.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way in the second episode, he got introduced into the scene where they're jumping onto the semi. He leaps from the helicopter onto the semi, and then his partner like goes down the rope to the semi. So I'm like, that was a pretty big leap. And then the way he throws his shield under his partner to save him from the fall, like that was pretty
cool.
Like that was a pretty enhanced moment, you know. Like I don't know if he could do all that stuff as a normal, and maybe it's just, you know, they're just like, oh, he can do stuff.
Yeah, I think it was kind of supposed to be kind of hinted in the or the first episode when he's introduced that he, you know, has like an insane like kind of training and knowledge, and you know, he's a top Marine and so on. And I think it's meant to come across as that, you know, he's just naturally like this, like, you know, like as he's throwing around the shield and he's never held it before, and he's bouncing it off trees and stuff and doing stuff that normal men can't do. I don't think, like, just from looking at his fighting style anyway, I don't think he has super like powers yet anyway.
Gotcha.
No, like when he punched that guy in the bar.
Like if he had the serum, he'd be kicking people off those trucks and all, you know. I
mean, Bucky wasn't, you know. Bucky has the powers.
Well,
he's got super serum.
Again, I think, and I've talked about this before, I think this is kind of just the way these shows are structured. Like I've watched enough of this stuff to know, you know, you can't have the hero come in and fuck up the bad guys in episode 1, because then it's just not interesting as it goes on. I think what you need to do is you need to have the hero come in, struggle, and then go, oh shit, okay, this is a challenge. Then they gotta kind of build up to the final fight, and then when they win it, you get that satisfaction, you know. Yeah. So I think that's where they're going with it. I think Bucky maybe, you know, and then it kind of, as it goes on, it's not his actual strength, it's more of his mental incapacity to be dealing with the situation more so than his actual strength. You know, his head isn't in the game. I think that's what usually happens anyway. True. I just don't think John Walker is enhanced yet, but I think he will.
Gotcha. And to kind of loop back to what we were... Oh, I'm sorry, Max, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm just referring to the whole John Walker thing. I think for sure he's gonna have something to do, because like now they're basically how him and Hodgkins were like, oh, are we gonna work like off the grid now? And it's basically like, yeah. So I think they're gonna go to the power broker and be like, yo, like, do you got one of these vials? Because like I need one, or if not, they're gonna beat the shit out of them and just take them. And so
I don't. Well, he doesn't have them. The ginger girl, she has them.
Oh,
she robbed them.
Does, and that's why
the flag smashers have all 20 vials. And they've only, from what I could see, unless there's more flag smashers that you don't know about yet, there's only about 8 of them, so there should be about 12 free vials.
So I think that's for sure how John Walker's going to get the super soldier serum in his hands.
Yeah,
is by taking it back from the flag smashers.
Yeah, can we talk a bit about the flag smashers in general? Because I have a problem seeing them as bad guys.
No, I don't know.
What?
Well,
they just blew up like a building of people. They're not the bad guys.
Dude.
That
was bad.
I feel like we crossed a couple of lines.
I think they okay. like a lot of bad people. I think that they think that what they're doing is right, you know. And then as well, the guy with the long hair, you know, when the building explodes at the end, and she's like, you know, this is the only thing that these people understand. It's like he knows that they've crossed the line, but she's like, you know, it's necessary. So I think they definitely, up until that point, definitely think that what they're doing is right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised with the way that that's all unfolding. I wouldn't be surprised now if the long-haired fella, if he decides to maybe rob the serum and maybe give it to John Walker or something like that and go, look, I don't want any part in this anymore. She's gone too far. She needs to be taken down. Like, that's definitely what's going on.
I think like great as an organization, though. Like, fantastic. Yeah. You know, kind of like what I didn't like about Agatha in WandaVision. It was kind of like she was just like kind of evil, and you really didn't get a good motivation on why she was doing it. It's just like she's here and she's like kind of the bad person in the show. She just wants the powers, and like there might be a good reason, but they didn't tell it to us. Versus like someone like Thanos, who comes off as incredibly evil, but like his motives make sense to him. Like he's the hero in his mind. Yeah. And the Flag Smashers do operate like that, where they are the heroes in their mind. And I love where they're coming, where it's like,
get rid of all borders and blah blah blah.
Yeah, we liked it better when the world was blipped, and we want to get back there. That's a very, very compelling narrative for like a organization to be like evil with. I love it, man.
Yeah. I really like the cause. I really think they are good in writing bad guys that isn't like 100% bad. It's not just like I want to take over the world and be the emperor. It's like Thanos and Zemo and the Flag Smashers. Even though I hate the name Flag Smashers, that is the most ridiculous evil brand name ever. but still, like
they're smashing flags, no borders.
I'm all for no borders.
Thanks for the lurk, Chewie.
General, but Flag Smashers, come on, guys.
That was kind of like it was like the 11th hour sort of thing, and it's like, shit, what are we gonna name these guys? Like, Flag Smashers, let's go. Print it.
How about episode 3? What do you guys think? Like overall,
I loved it. It's all
the best episode so far.
Yeah, I think it's the best episode of Disney Marvel TV yet. I think that's the best episode of anything that we've seen. WandaVision included. Like, I think that was just the Zemo jam is just the best thing ever. Like, honestly, the second I saw Zemo bopping in the club to that banging music, I fucking like, my girlfriend will tell you, like, I nearly had tears rolling down my eyes. I was laughing so much. I fucking absolutely loved it. It was
best moment ever.
And I sat there thinking to myself, what am I going to do with this? I was like, okay, Zemo Jam on BTTV is coming. Like, I was like, I'm going to make that. Like, I'm going to do it myself. And then Anders fucking mails me on Discord and he sends me the fucking little clip. I'm like, oh my God, bro, we have the same mind. Like, I was like, this is so funny. So I was like, I don't know what the story with BTTV is. Like, I think if I was to put that up on my own one, I might get banned. So what I might do is like make up a fake BTTV and just upload it. And then if it gets deleted and I get banned, who cares? And then we could just share it out, But the Zemo Jam is coming to Twitch 1000%. I'll figure it out tomorrow. I honestly had a tear rolling down my face. I was laughing so much. I thought it was incredible.
Can we talk about how much Daniel Brühl or Zemo is taking the show? I mean, he's just stealing the spotlight every scene.
He is an incredible actor. Did you ever watch what's it called? His show on Netflix. What's it called? Oh my God,
I didn't even know he had a show on Netflix.
Oh, it's incredible. Sorry, give me 1 second. I need to look it up. It's like The Alienist on Netflix. There's 2 seasons. Honestly, if you're looking for something to watch, check it out. He is incredible in it. I'm trying to just see. Just making sure I've got the right name. Sorry. Yeah,
I'll say real quick.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, The Alienist. It's called.
I've checked that out because every scene he's in, he's so sincere about himself and like seems so earnest, but at the same time so untrustworthy. Oh yeah. Like, I don't know how he pulls that off in that character because it's so good, man. Like he's up there with like one of the best villains I've ever seen on TV.
Yeah.
Like so good.
I'm what the hell's going on with my camera? I'm like as well, like, me and my girlfriend were talking, we're like, he's doing all these like accents and like speaking German perfectly. I'm like, gotta look up this guy. Like, he has like he's like German descent and stuff like this. He's like fluent in like 4 or 5 different languages or something. Like, he's just an incredible human in real life, like, and I think that just helps him just be so like a much more compelling actor, like, like in Winter Soldier, like he's speaking German perfectly, like, and then he's got the kind of Eastern European accent and all that sort of stuff. Like, it's he's going off in my chat right now. I just got right.
Zemo!
Look at him go!
Look at him go! Look at him fail. Zemo goes.
Oh my God! Sorry. BB, thank you for the raid.
Baby the B.
It's BB the B.
I just gotta mention, since we're talking about Zemo, the most badass moment was when he activated fucking Bucky at the bar.
Yeah,
like, that shit was fucking amazing.
That was just like an act, though, right? That wasn't like a real activation.
No. I think he like
spoke. No.
Do you think because he started?
No, because you remember when he first meets him? I thought this was actually a really cool point. When he first meets him, I said to my girlfriend straight away, "Oh my god, imagine he starts saying the words," and then he stands up and he starts saying the words, and I was like, "Oh shit!" But then Bucky straight away just goes, "It doesn't work like that anymore." So his Wakanda's kind of broke. They fixed him. They broke, like, you know, they've broken that link. But I think what's it called? I think Zemo says something to him in the bar, like, as in, like, you know, he starts calling him the Winter Soldier, and he's like, you know, stay in part or we're going to get blown away here. So I think he knows to play the part, to pretend that he's still the Winter Soldier, but he actually isn't. So that's why he's like, you know, stand down, soldier, and all this stuff. Okay, but I fucking love that, dude. I thought that was like my favorite scene.
The only thing that concerned me is like how like Sam kind of noticed he was acting different too.
Yeah,
like Sam put his arm on him and was like, "You good? Like, are you okay?" And like that's what I thought, like, because like the way how Zemo turned around, like started talking to him in German. I was like, whoa, was he like activating the Winter Soldier again? And like, Bucky like so quickly snapped and just like without thinking twice, just started beating the shit out of these people.
Again, that's muscle memory though, you know, like that's more the body than the mind. And I think Sam kind of freaks out a bit, going like, shit, you know, his acting's a bit too good, like just making sure he isn't going over the edge. But I think he very much might, you know. I think Sam says this to him as well. Like, he's like, you know, this is dangerous territory, you know, like Zemo and all this stuff and all the Hydra talk. Like, this is dangerous territory for you to be in. Are you all right? He keeps saying that to him, and like, Bucky keeps saying, yeah, like, I'm fine. But I think he might be lying. I think he might be relapsing.
I would say what they're trying to do with that scene, it's like,
yo, T-Fire, what's up?
He's dealing with a lot of emotion lately, right? And like, he is
the face cam is out on Friday.
But like, he's very, very, very comfortable being in that role, and probably more so than like what he's been doing lately, where he's like thinking on his own and having to deal with all his motion, where he can just like kind of escape into that Winter Soldier mode, and like it feels good for him to be there.
For me, honestly, this show is all Bucky. I know it's probably more to be focused towards Sam, but for me, it's a Bucky show. Like, it's fucking fantastic. I'm loving all of it. Annie just said in my chat there as well, absolutely love Sharon. She's such a badass. Oh my god, I love when she's like, all of the Madripoor like assassins are coming in, and they're like, guys, we need to hurry up now. And she's just outside fucking them all up. I was just like, this girl is a badass, like absolute badass. I loved it. She has to come back into it as well.
That scene was so good, where she's just like slaying people.
Yeah.
But real quick, this is what got me weirded out, is when like at first they were like, hey, you know, come help us out and you can get pardoned. She's like,
I don't have people on Discord. You can join my server though if you want.
And he's just like, oh yeah, we can help you out and get pardoned. He said it again. She's like, okay, make sure you get that done for me.
I noticed that too. It's like,
what is this?
This, yeah.
Well, who's she working with? Because like, I think she's still with like the U.S. government. I still think she's with them.
I was trying to think timelines as well. I always kind of forget that in the MCU we're meant to be in like 2023 or 24. So I'm kind of thinking like, shit, so Civil War was like 2016. So she obviously went on the run after she gave the guys the suits back in 2016. So she's been gone for like 7 years or something, 6 or 7 years. So it's like, I'm kind of thinking like, is it realistic that she has this big empire in Madripoor like set up? And I'm like, well, maybe in 6 years, yeah. Like, you know, she's obviously a badass and all. So and yeah, I
remember one of the movies. Didn't they say she was blipped? Like, her face like was up on the screen as someone who got blipped.
She was missing.
Yeah, she's on the run. She's on the run from the government because she's a criminal now for release, and that's why she wants the pardon. You know,
I thought I'd seen a scene that just said like she was like part of the people who were blipped. You know, they
were
like,
I mean, they
could have been missing.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Lang was part of the ones being blipped, but he wasn't blipped.
Right.
So I mean,
T-Fire still no haircut, like, but I got my beard trimmed a little bit. Got a little bit of a trim going on the beard.
Yeah, but I mean, Sharon was such a badass.
Such a badass. Like, I'm like, I presume they're gonna go back to Madripoor, but I don't know if like, I presume she's gonna stay there, like, because they're like, I'll come back to the States.
Like 3 episodes left, so I don't know if we got time to go back there.
I think those are one-off. I think those are one-off.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a lot of the people are speculating now because in the comic books that place has such a deep history with both Wolverine and Captain America. So I think, you know, a lot of people are saying this could be a little bit of a hint at maybe we might see the birth of the mutants here. maybe something gets released like a gas or something like that, or I don't know. It's, again, all just theory, but and then have you seen? There's a link as well. Someone was like putting up like breaking down the Black Widow trailer, and apparently she has like vials of like red serum in that trailer in her hand in one of the scenes, and people are thinking that like perhaps the widows are given, so that the widows are super soldiers themselves. They have their own variant of it, which would make a lot of sense because like, you know, you see Scarlett Johansson's character like doing fucking backflips and landing like jumping 3-story windows and just landing on her feet and running away and all this stuff like, and it's just like she's obviously not like she can't be human like just the way that she goes on and just the people that she's fought and all this stuff like, so that would kind of make sense as well. So I'm kind of wondering, are the serums going to come together to kind of make some bigger story? And again, obviously we were supposed to have seen Black Widow by now, so
right,
again, I don't know if that is going to open up doors when we eventually do see it. I think we've got the viewing order messed up, so I don't know how they're going to try and explain that, or I don't know.
I definitely think Madripoor is going to be in the MCU. I think it's going to be a big city in the MCU. I don't think we're going back there in the show.
I thought it was I thought it was Night City. I was like Night City vibes off. I was like, so cool.
Oh, absolutely. I was like,
also,
yo, Brick, what's up,
like
dude? How are you?
The comics, right? But like, Taskmaster is in Black Widow.
Yes.
And Taskmaster is the one who teaches John Walker how to use the shield.
Interesting.
Right. In the comics, like that's how it goes down, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
I don't know if there was a connection there that we were supposed to see before now, and maybe they re-edited it, recut it, or whatever. But that is something to happen. So like, there are definitely connections here.
Yeah.
To Black Widow.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I think Black Widow is going to have a huge part of the MCU coming up, even with being set like before. I mean, it's like Captain Marvel. Like when that movie, it was like, oh yeah, it was before, but it's now, and it's giving you all the answers.
Yeah,
I think it's going to give us more questions than answers, but I think it's going to be a huge part in the whole stuff. Absolutely.
You agree, Annie? Let's go.
How cool is the way they just handled the Baron Zemo moment? Where they're like, "You're rich." He goes, "Yeah, I'm a baron."
Yeah,
like, they just move on. Like, I'm a baron. I got planes and cars, bro. Whatever.
I love that you've been this rich this entire time, and it's like jumping on private jets and stuff. It's like, oh, we're gonna start this with Grand Theft Auto. And he's like, "This is my car collection." I was like, "What a badass!" But I love him. What a character.
Was he locked in prison, or was he there? Like,
I think he's there on purpose. Like he could escape whenever he wanted. And he just like, he knows he's kind of protected there if he stays in there. Yeah,
because Wakanda is after him.
Mm-hmm.
When this episode started, the second he got out of prison, I said to myself, if Chadwick Boseman was still with us, I would say that he would have made an appearance in this show. I think it would have just made a lot of sense for him to kind of show up and just go, what the fuck's going on? Where's Zemo? You know, he's to rot for what he did. And I think that's why they've brought her in. I don't think that was meant to be her at the end of the show. I'd say it was meant to be Chadwick originally, and I think obviously plans had to change.
But do you think now, because it was Okoye showing up, do you think Okoye is the new Black Panther?
The rumors I heard was that his little sister was going to be taking the mantle.
Shuri. Yeah, well, Shuri, I think, will play a big part, but I think Okoye is a better Black Panther than Shuri.
Shuri always got in a little trouble on social media, you know what I mean? Like, she got a little heat online for whatever. I don't even look at the story. I just know
what's
everyone's
up,
like,
how are you?
Who the fuck?
Bisto,
like, I remember
join on the 4K. Let's go.
She
dude.
caught a little
something. Send me a Snapchat.
So,
I want to see what I look like on the big screen.
I don't know. Like, would that you think that would have been Black Panther? Like, actually, Chadwick Boseman. I feel like that's a little too much heat to throw into that show to pull away from the story. Like, maybe, but that's a lot of heat to actually have Black Panther show up.
I fully believe that was probably where it was going. And I just think it would tie in because, again, I feel that this is just Civil War Part 2. I feel like this is just an exact continuation on from the Civil War story, and Black Panther obviously had such a high stake in that movie. Just obviously his father being murdered, and they obviously bring up. I think it's a line in the film or in the show. Who says it? Someone brings up him murdering the king. I think it's Sam. Sam says it to him. Just like
I was just about to ask. I was like, what did Zemo do that made Wakanda fucking hate him so much?
Yeah, he killed the king.
He was the one that set off the bomb in Sokovia, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
no, it was at the UN.
Yeah,
and
Sam said that he killed the king of Wakanda and he blamed it on you.
Yeah, exactly. It was. Remember they tried to frame Bucky for it, but it was actually Zemo who did it. Yeah.
Was it Sharon? Annie said Sharon said it.
Was it Sharon? Oh, okay. I think Sam says something.
Yeah. She said it like, well, you did this for say him, blah, 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 blah. And then just start in the alley.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Sam said it. Like, no, it was Sam.
Yeah,
was it Sam?
It was Sam.
It was Sam.
I believe Sam. I mean, both of them may have said something about it with this writing going on in the show. You know,
Yeah,
sloppy. Not gonna lie, guys. Not gonna lie, the writing's a little off of the shows. Just saying.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the writer, but I love the show. And I know, especially Max will not agree with me here, but I am not a big fan of the action scene.
In this one?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's fun, but it's also like, yeah, okay. I mean, Sharon can handle it. And then, yeah, oh, wow, a rocket launcher. But that's not the big pull. It's fire and explosions, and then it's a pipe through the shoulder, and so on.
Right.
But I mean, it's a little bland, isn't it not?
To say, like, you know, it's kind of reestablishing that Sharon can kick ass. You know, like she's not just a spy. Like, she's actually someone who can like throw down and hold her own, which might come up later, right? It also gives us an opportunity.
Thank you, Annie. Yes, you're right.
To have everyone be distracted, which you know, lets Zemo kill the professor or the
Max's chair is so cool, isn't it?
Action sequences like this kind of serve a purpose too, and then it also, you know, in the middle of it, you know, you kind of seen the tear between Bucky and Sam, where they're still not working together. They're not like you know, they're not in sync with each other. They're yelling at each other. You know, then they had that corny line, that horrible joke in the middle of it that kind of ruined it. But it still kind of serves, like, when action sequences serve the purpose of like showing you things about the character, I think they're really good. And that's what I liked about the truck scene from episode 2. Which I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I totally picked up on the idea of when like Captain America's throwing the shields, he's like bouncing things off of, you know, he's ricocheting stuff, right? Like trick shots. Just like he kind of sees things at different angles. Like he approaches where John Walker was like just throwing straight shots at people. And like he's more of a head-on guy.
Yeah.
So action sequences like that, I love.
I love that.
Yeah, and he carries a gun.
I love the part,
which, you know,
he nearly takes Bucky's head off at one point. You know, the look that Bucky gives him, just like, you know, watch where you're throwing this, like, you know. And, I think Bucky steals it back off Walker.
So that's why I think the action scene with Sharon like kind of serves a purpose. Is like it led us to that point where it kind of reaffirms that Sam and Bucky aren't on the same page yet. They're working against each other. So I dig that. That's good writing. That's actually good writing. I love it.
Yeah.
Now Sam's cell phone going off in a scene with like
oh my god,
a little ridiculous. A little ridiculous.
You know, the best part when it is like, you know, she's like, answer the phone, and it's like, you know, I know if I was in that kind of like occupation or something, I would have some sort of a safe word that I would say to my family on the phone if something was like dicey like that. Like, you know, if I was being kind of against my will, being held or something like that, like I'd have some sort of safe word I'd say, or something that I would like do, like press a button on the phone to make a dial tone or something like that, you know. And he's just like letting your one drop his name. I was just like, oh, this is so sloppy. And then like she starts screaming at the kids, like, why would you not just hang the phone up straight away? Like the second you heard the scream, I would have hung up. Like I would have been like, oh yeah, you know, whatever, she's gone off.
Yeah.
And then like she's like, what was that, Sam? And so you're just like, oh, for God's sake.
it's just lazy.
Yeah.
It's just lazy writing, man. Like,
yeah, it's just...
they needed something to change that scene to, you know, kind of take it a different direction, and a cell phone goes off because we all know Avengers carry their cell phones. Like the Avengers are so dumb. Like I don't understand. I
had it on silent. You just had it on vibration, but the vibration was super loud.
My phone is never not on silent. Like, who has a ringtone? Like, come on, it's 2021, or for them 24. Like, it's like, come on, bro.
But okay, Venta, what would your secret word be? Your safe word?
I don't know. I think I would maybe just like when I answer the phone, maybe just hit a few buttons on the thing so that, like, you know, they wouldn't hear it, but you know, the person on the other end usually hears the dial tone or something like that, and you might know rather than saying something.
You know, I actually have a safe word, like not a safe word in that sense, but you know, a safe word that, you know, you're on the subway, you talk with your significant other, your friend, or anything.
Yeah.
And if I say this word that I can say in any sentence, then they know that I'm in huge danger, that I need help.
Yeah.
and it's a dish that everybody hates in my friends group, but.
Yeah.
It's a common thing in Swedish. It's called kalops. It's like sort of a stew. And if I say that, yeah, well, I mean, I'm by this station now, and should we eat this for dinner tomorrow? Then they know that shit's about to go down.
Yeah,
that's good. It's fucking dicey where you are. You have a safe word for the subway?
Yeah. Welcome to Europe, donkey.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything. If I say that word, they know that shit's about to go down.
Well, I just mean, like, I'm not going to have one in my life. Like, I work in IT. Like, my life's very boring. But I think if I was Sam Wilson, like, I'm going to... And especially if, like, there's a very strong possibility that a family member could be calling me while I'm in the field. Like, I think there needs to be some sort of, like, an agreement that maybe you have a persona or, like a character made up that, if you're on a call, you don't say your real name. I think that's quite obvious,
Just answer the phone and saying, yeah, this is Conrad. Or Conrad speaking or something like that. Yeah, okay.
There's just
add something.
Yeah.
It's just terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Sweet Tiger.
But again, like that whole thing just didn't really lead to anything anyway, so it didn't really matter, It was it was just filler, like nothing happened, like, They just got out of there. They got out of there 2 seconds later, and they're never going back. Like, so it doesn't even really matter. Like, I suppose it's just kind of trying to put a bit of suspense or a bit of comedy in there for no reason. Like, it's just filler minutes. Like, really, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of bridges something. It does set up like the cool little action sequence, like the John Wick thing, where it's like everyone gets like the bounty on their phone.
Yeah,
it's like I
love that. I love that. 1,000 bitcoins.
Oh wow, that's a lot of money.
That was. I did the calculations. It was $50 million. So that was the bounty on their head. The second I saw that, I was like, ooh. I take out my phone. I take out my phone and I was like checking. I was checking like what bitcoins were right now. I was like, shit. If that was if that bounty was called right now in real life, I was like, that would be 50 million euro like bounty on their heads right now.
How good does Baron Zemo look too? That guy's like a fashion icon.
Isolated.
That like jacket with like the fur on it. Like I want to get myself one of those.
I loved. I'm not gonna lie. I loved that purple.
The mask.
He was wearing.
Oh yeah.
That turtleneck with like the type of design where it's like flapped over.
Yeah.
Oh, it looked sick. I was like, oh dude. I was like,
yeah, those aren't meant for us, Max.
Nice slim, like, oh yeah. If
those aren't meant for guys like me and you.
Yeah, no, they're gonna see all the double chin. It's just.
You don't see, but I got one too. I got one too done.
Nice.
Yeah, the beard's great for hiding the double chin. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but fantastic. Like his costume now is like when I saw him in what was it, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, like I was disappointed. I was like, oh, like where's the ski mask, like everything,
Yeah, it's all coming now.
Once they did it now, he looked badass with the big ass trench coat and with this like putting on the mask. I was like, oh yeah, that's the Zemo we all wanted to see,
Yeah,
100%.
So I'm glad we're finally getting it.
What did they say about his backstory in Civil War? I feel like it didn't line up as perfectly with like I'm a rich baron.
No, but he was undercover. He was like, I'm a psychiatrist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm here.
Well, yeah, no, he stole your man's identity. He killed him and stole his identity so that he could get in an interview and take over Bucky.
Okay.
They find the real psychiatrist in the bathtub of the hotel or something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
How insane was it that they had Steve Rogers coming back into the episode?
Oh, excuse me?
No, I'm just kidding. I saw that Joar wrote that he had.
Oh my god. Hello?
April Fool's is over, bro. Stop this now. I got done good with one last night. I wasn't, for me, like April Fool's was over, so my guard was down last night when I was playing. Me and Max were playing, and I was like, I don't know, I had my phone open or something like that, and I saw fucking WandaVision season 2 confirmed, and I kind of said it to Max. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, WandaVision season 2, and Max just goes, yeah, April Fool's, bro. And I was like, oh shit, because it was over for me, like. But I kind of let the guard down, but he got me good. Got me good. I unsubscribed.
I April Fool Annie today that we can do April Fools on April the 2nd in Sweden. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a good.
She's like, Alice, please, in the chat.
Yeah. Annie needs a safe word for she doesn't know if it's like April Fool's or not. She's like, seriously though, collapse? Is that what?
I love that you remember that word though. It's collapse a thing in America?
I've never heard of it either.
No. It's beef
The secret
boiled bear in beer.
Boiled bear in beer.
No, boiled beef.
Oh, I was like boiled bear in beer.
Delicious. What's wrong with this?
No, but it's very autumny. It's very heavy, very musty.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and no, it's not from. It's
okay.
It's, no.
Did you guys hear?
So,
sorry, just off topic very quickly. Just while we're on the April Fool's thing, did you hear what Blakey did to his son yesterday?
No.
Oh my god! So he said to his kid that Fortnite got banned in the UK and that he wasn't going to be able to play it anymore. It was like IP banned in the entire country, and he made his kid cry. Oh my god! Yeah. It's so funny. It's like,
you got dogs. You understand how to do that.
Yeah, dog. I told my dogs, I was like, dude, they banned treats here. They're all crying. It was crazy.
Hook lost his mind.
Yeah, they were crazy. Does Blakey feel like every photo he posts on Twitter, it looks like he was taken in the 1970s? Am I the only one who picks up like everything's got like yellowish hue, like it's a little fuzzy?
What a legend.
He's chugging like an old ass beer like Foster's. Like, who's drinking Foster's in 2020?
Foster's is big over there, bro. Foster's is huge in the UK.
Is it?
Yeah, it's huge over there. Yeah, big time.
You
I
probably
didn't know
think
this.
it's like the UK's Bud Light, probably.
No,
Dude, I've never
UK
seen someone
won't
drinking
touch
Foster's in
Bud.
my life.
UK's like Carlsberg, Heineken, Foster's, Stella. They're big beers.
Only
over
the
there.
finest for our British lads. They only the finest, the best of the best over there.
I find it funny that like like Stella's ranked really high over there, but like over here is like it's piss for us.
Yeah.
So it's just really weird.
You're Ireland. You have Guinness and Kilkenny and so on.
True. I don't drink Guinness, but yeah, it's I just find it funny.
Take his
Like,
card away.
We're so close to each other, like Ireland and the UK. But I just think like they consider like Stella to be a top class beer and Foster's, and like over here they're pissed. Like it's just funny.
But I think it would be pissed in Belgium as well. I haven't been in Belgium.
Oh, well, Belgium is like top tier beer, like
Yeah, but I mean, Stella is Belgian.
Yeah,
and I think if you go to Belgium, they would not rate Stella at all.
No, I don't think so. Like that's like
Their Bud Light.
Yeah, exactly. That's like Bud Light. Like no one drinks Bud Light, but like that's American, like
Yeah.
But
those Foster cans go for like $1 here. Like those big ass cans of Foster, that's like $1, man. Like, oh my god.
The tall boys.
Yeah. I don't think they're tall ball. They're like mini kegs, bro. They're like tall and fat. Like I'm like you're drinking two of them.
I remember the very first time I had a Foster's. It was like at a festival in Vegas, and like they had like they were promoting like $5 beers, and I was like, $5 beers at a festival? That's a fucking steal, you know?
Yeah.
So like I walk up there and like I order the beer, and they hand me this big ass can of Foster's, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This thing was huge. It's like I was holding like a toxic waste barrel. This thing was fucking massive.
You're like jackpot, bro.
You feel like an animal. You literally feel like an animal when you have a Foster's in your hand.
Yeah,
like that. You don't.
If you're at a festival or something, though, that's perfect. Like that's what you want. You want to be one with nature, But rolling around on the ground in pieces.
Finto, I haven't been to Ireland, but I've been to UK a few times. Is ciders a big thing in Ireland?
Cider's huge in Ireland, yeah.
I know we get Bulmers and so on, but do you have Copperbergs
yes.
over there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
All the
It's
different
huge,
flavors.
yeah.
It's huge, yeah.
Did you know that Copperbergs are Swedish?
Oh yeah? That's cool.
Yes!
Yes.
Ooh.
Copperberg's a really big thing over here. So when kids start drinking in Ireland, most kids will start drinking when they're like maybe like 12 or 13 on average. And
that's good.
Yeah. It's normal. It's fine. But what most people will do is they'll start drinking cider first because it kind of tastes like fizzy apple juice. So it's like kids start drinking that early, and then like they'll get fucked up on like 2 bottles of it, and they kind of just go further and further, and then you'll start drinking something like Bud because it's a light lager, and then you move on from there. But like all the teenage girls drink Copperberg. That's a big thing in Ireland here. Bulmers and Magners, as it's called in the UK. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
We got a boost.
Magner's pretty big here in the States.
Is it really? Yeah, I thought that was only in the UK. Well, that's Magners is they're the same thing. Magners and Bulmers. I don't know why they have different names, but they do. But it's the exact same thing. But yeah, like cider's huge over here. Like beer gardens on a sunny day. We don't get too many sunny days over here, but if there is a sunny day, it's gonna be ciders in the beer gardens for sure. Yeah, 100%.
That doesn't make sense though to have ciders in the beer garden. I mean, they should.
Yeah. Cider gardens.
I'm just saying, Ireland.
I know. That's lazy. It's lazy.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. Like, what else can we talk about here?
Well,
the ending.
I wasn't shocked.
Oh yeah, well of course. Like, what's that like? I presume
Bucky meeting up with one of the soldiers from Wakanda, or was that someone that was like? Was that like one of Sherry's assistants? Like,
she's one of the main guards. She's
Okoye.
Yeah. She's with Chadwick in Civil War. She's a big part in Civil War.
Yeah, she's head of military in Wakanda.
Yeah.
That was her. I didn't think it looked like her.
No, it is. It is her. I've seen. People were putting up pictures of her in Civil War and stuff online. Yeah. So yeah, that was, it 100% was.
It's the same chick that plays Michonne, right?
No. It's the other. It's one of the other guards. It's not her.
One of the other ones. That
yes.
Okay. Because I was like, no, that wasn't her. Like 100%, that was not her.
It wasn't Michonne. Yeah, it wasn't Michonne.
But that's Okoye, like royal guards. Yeah.
Was it Okoye?
Okoye's. That's Michonne.
It's not her. It's a different character.
Yeah.
It's not Michonne. It's not Michonne.
Yeah. I just think it's a different person from Wakanda. We don't even know if it's an important person in Wakanda. It could just be like the Wakanda, part of their spy network. You know what I mean?
No, the girl that's at the end of it, she was 100% in Civil War. There's pictures of her standing beside Chadwick Boseman. She's like, when the part in Civil War when Chadwick leaves the after the bombing and he leaves the place and he's like, leave it to me. He's like, I'll find him and so on.
Okay, so he's like one of like the personal guards.
She's the personal guard to the king. Like,
okay,
yeah. But
that's why, like, when you said like that was supposed to be Black Panther, if that was supposed to be Black Panther, I thought it would be Michonne in that role. You know, like if it was gonna be that big of a character.
I think his sister is gonna take over the role as Black Panther.
No, but I mean, like, if it was gonna be a replacement of in that scene, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, they were gonna put Black Panther. Like you thought it may have been him, it would have been him.
I think so.
That's why I'm like, I think it's just supposed to be a random Wakanda because I think they would have given that to the Okoye actress.
You see, I think she precedes
Ayo.
Yeah.
Ayo.
Okay. Ayo is her name.
Yeah, because I think the Michonne character, I think she kind of precedes all that sort of thing. Like, like she's like kind of the leader there now, and especially since Chadwick is gone, and I think they're writing it into the story that the character of T'Challa like won't be recast or anything like that. He's going to be retired, so I presume there's going to be some sort of a tragedy where the character will die and they'll fully retire that character altogether. So I'd say there's been kind of some sort of tragedy in Wakanda, and then she'll be kind of leading up Wakanda, I think. So she sent her one instead. Michonne has sent her probably to talk to Bucky, and I'd say Bucky has a good relationship with her. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw some sort of flashback to his time as the White Wolf in Wakanda. Maybe like doing missions or stuff in Wakanda with her, and maybe that's like how they kind of like, because I got the vibe at the end of that episode that they know each other quite well,
right?
Yeah, so I think that's
for sure.
Yeah,
and like,
so do you think that they're gonna like turn in Zemo, like yeah, thanks for the help, like?
Yeah, I think Zemo's gonna flip. I think Zemo's gonna work with them, but there's a lot of footage in those trailers that came out, and it looks like Zemo's gone kind of full terrorist, like, so I don't see Sam and Bucky kind of participating in the stuff that he's doing in the trailers. So I think maybe he might escape, or he might go off on his own, or they might try and stop the Flag Smashers one way, but Zemo might go off and try and just kind of John Wick it, or so to say.
All right, let me give you a hot take here.
Go for
it. I got this.
Yes, go.
Baron Zemo. Once we're done, we cut to a mid-credit scene. Baron Zemo shows up at Isaiah, Black Captain America's house, kills him.
Oh my god!
And that's why he's the actual villain for Young Avengers. Now his nephew or grandson has something to come after.
I'm buying that theory. I like it, so I'm believing it.
Because they were talking about Isaiah in front of Zemo on the plane, and Zemo probably was like, "Oh, there's another super soldier guy here, huh? Okay, let me go take care of that."
or maybe like on the last episode, we see like Zemo go and kill him, and see like I'm hoping to see like some like badass fight, you know, where like Zemo's like trying to run into this dude's house, and this dude's just like tossing him around the fucking building, you know.
Yeah,
I would love to see that, but like that's crazy. I didn't even think about that, to have like Zemo be like the main antagonist for the Young Avengers.
I want to see a flashback to Bucky versus a young Black Cap. I think they gotta show us that, right?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think they gotta do it. They gotta show him. They gotta show him taking Bucky's arm off. I think that would be an incredible scene to see, and then it's kind of just gonna, because I think like a lot of people are kind of waiting for a Black Captain America, and they thought that it was going to be Sam, and I think that's a good way to have Sam keep his mantle, but then we still get to see a bit of a Black Captain America as well in a flashback, and it's like he's been here the entire time, and you know he's just been hidden by the government and all. I love the storyline. I think it's great. I want to see more.
What if we get like a really Watchmen-esque like scene at the very end, where like he's fighting Zemo and beating Zemo up, but he's having flashbacks to him like hitting the Winter Soldier, but it's actually Zemo.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like just a very Watchmen-esque, you know, like craziness.
Yeah. That'd be incredible.
Fuck, I had something else to say. Oh, I lost it. All right, my bad.
But I feel like there's less things to talk about in this series than it was in WandaVision.
I think the reason for that as well is the fandom have now we've been burned. We've been scolded, like, you know, I think
by ourselves,
but we have been. I think like a lot of people I know, like from a lot of the videos that I watch, like I watch a lot of theory videos and stuff like that, and a lot of the stuff that you watch, if you even scroll 2 clicks down in the comments, everything you read is just after after WandaVision, I don't believe it till I see it, and all this sort of thing. Everyone has the same kind of mentality, like, you know, people aren't diving into the theories and the comic books and all this sort of thing. They're kind of just going, right, let's just see what happens, because like even after WandaVision, there was so much talk of the House of M, so much so that I was like, shit, I need to buy this book and read it, because, you know, this is where it's going. And I read House of M before the show ended, and the only thing that TV show took from the House of M is the first 2 pages of the fucking book. That's it, like, you know. So I'm like, all this House of M talk is pointless right now. Now I don't know if it's going to continue on to something in Doctor Strange 2, or maybe something down the line with Scarlet Witch herself. Maybe she gets her own project that hasn't been announced yet or something, but for now House of M has been 2 pages. You know, so I just think that to start like harping on about comic books and stuff like that, I just think it might not happen. Like you know, the MCU could just be going a completely different way.
But where is Mephisto?
Exactly, where's Mephisto?
I don't know. Did you see the stop sign on the gate during the German scenes where it was like a hard X? I don't know if that's just like a German stop sign, but I was like, ooh, that's an X symbol right there.
I didn't see that, but that's actually epic.
Like it's a circle and an X, like it's red. I think it's just like a don't enter sign in Germany or whatever, right?
It is. But we have them here, like, but that's funny, like, but like that it could be though, like, you know, that's the funny thing, like,
you never know.
In Marvel, in the MCU, everything's there for a fucking reason, you know.
Yeah, or not apparently.
Well, yeah, or not.
Well, or not.
So we thought, yes.
I'll say this about foreshadowing. I felt like them touching on Sokovia getting eaten up by its neighbors was kind of a Dr. Doomy thing. When they put us in Latvia, I had to do like a double take. Like, wait, what did they say? Was that Latvia? Oh, okay, it's just Latvia. Like, it felt like they were setting up a Dr. Doom thing, man.
I think it's all coming. It's all like there's a lot.
You know, Latvia is a real country, right?
Yeah. But I really felt like that was just a nod to Dr. Doom. I really did. Yeah. Just the way that they're eating up other countries, like, you know.
Did you see people were breaking down Spider-Man Far From Home, and the site where Tony's building, you know, Tony's building that they're closing up in Homecoming, before they move the Avengers Tower upstate, that is up for sale, and they have a banner at the bottom of it, and it's like something, it says something like, I'll find the image and I'll put it in the Discord, but it's something along the lines of like something new is coming, or something exciting, or something fantastic is coming, and then it has like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's supposed to be kind of like measurements, but the 4 is like circled and stuff, so it's like Fantastic Four. So what they're thinking is the Fantastic Four are going to take over that building in New York, and the old Stark Tower or Avengers Tower is going to become Reed Richards' building. Like it's going to become the Baxter Building, as they call it in Fantastic Four. So it's fucking sweet. Like it's sweet. So,
I don't know about that. Like,
I think that's what's happening.
Balance. The fandom has to balance the idea of them teasing stuff with also like production people having a bit of fun because they are nerds themselves.
Yeah.
Like there's no way they can tease that when like they haven't introduced the Fantastic Four to the universe. Like why would they be taking over a building if they're not even like really there yet?
He's gonna put the car in WandaVision.
Yeah,
what?
like I just think it's a fun thing. I think it's a fun thing that like a couple of like production assistants and graphic people are like, oh, this is hilarious. Let's do this. Like they are comic book fans and they like to have fun in the movies too. Like,
I don't know.
This is how we get to Mephisto. You know what I mean? Like we start this and we end up in hell.
I know, bro. I know, but I think they are all there for a reason. Like I wouldn't be surprised if that building did become the Baxter Building.
If we remember, and I think I am correct on this, I think the same director was John Waters.
John Watts. He did Spider-Man, and now he's gone to do Fantastic Four. Yes,
he's doing Fantastic Four.
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's all connected.
That poster
I don't want to hear "I told you so" in 6 years. All right, it's been a long time,
bro. I'm gonna pull this up. I'm recording this shit right here. I'm gonna pull this up.
I know you're gonna come back in 6 years. Like I told
Marvelous
you
Chats
so.
episode 3. I'll be like, whoa, look at my beard back then. I called this shit 6 years ago. God, I hope we don't have to wait 6 years. Jesus Christ, that's terrifying to think.
A long way.
That's terrifying.
I think we got a long way to the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be like 24, but I think it's like 3 years. Okay. I think 3 years is very realistic because it's in like not production, but it's in development.
Pre-production.
Development. Yeah. It's in development right now. So I would say they have the cast. They're just not releasing it. It's definitely going to be John Krasinski, 100%. Rumor is his real life wife is going to be in it as well. She's going to be
like Lively.
No, that's Ryan Reynolds' wife.
I don't know any of these people.
No, that's what's her name? Emily
Stone? No.
Blunt? Is it Blunt? Emily Blunt, I think.
Yes.
Blunt, yeah.
Yes, I know that one.
I recognize that name.
They played as husband and wife in that film that he did with what was it called?
A Quiet Place.
Yes, correct. So the two of them are going to be the what's her name? Sue Storm and Mr. Fantastic.
Well, like it's either we're going to get the Fantastic Four in 2023 or we get X-Men. But like we're going to wait a long time on one of those. Like I don't know what order they're going to introduce, but I don't think they bring those two things in at the same time. Because it's just too much going on, and they want the MCU to go on for a long time, you know. So I think they're going to kind of dole that out.
I think X-Men's going to go first because I think they want something to do with Hugh Jackman before he gets to.
Oh my God, Clip Master Flex tier 2,
Huey Jackman,
brother. Thank you so much, dude.
I just let
50 bucks.
We can get another Wolverine in here.
Oh, can we though?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Someone like edited like a picture of like Taron Egerton, like the guy that is in like he was in Kingsman. He was like the main the young kid.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Yeah.
They photoshopped a picture of him like as Logan.
He's big. He's big on the prediction list to be the next Wolverine. Like big on the list.
He's a future.
Let me try to find that picture.
Yeah, I've seen. I think Boss Logic did a couple of concepts for him.
I'm still selling Tom Hardy as Wolverine. He's the dream Wolverine.
God no, please no.
Why?
I hate Tom Hardy, bro.
Why do you hate Tom Hardy? He's too good at everything?
I think he's a very one-dimensional actor when he's acting as an American. I think he's just the same person over and over again. When he's English, he's the same kind of actor. Well, I just don't think he has very much range.
As an American, maybe, but this is going to be him as a Canadian. It's going to be fine.
Come on, bro. Fine. Come on, bro. Don't do this to me. I don't, and again, I don't think that he can do the role because I think that it's all going to just be one big fucking crazy franchise in a couple of years, and Venom's going to be in the MCU and everything. So I think he's already there. Yeah, I think so. I think so.
No way,
bro. If that next movie is good, the Carnage one, I think that's going to be big, especially with the way that
Carnage is going to be good.
I think it might be. Yeah.
Okay.
I do. Woody Harrelson's a great actor.
Yes, I love Woody Harrelson.
He's brilliant. He's brilliant. And I just
loved Woody Harrelson.
I just think it's getting closer and closer to just being adaptations of the comics and the old cartoons and stuff like that. And I just think, Tom Holland versus Tom Hardy, I just think, that would just be epic to see. And Carnage coming in. I want to see it all. I want to see the whole symbiote thing. I want to see Spider-Man become like the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Get the Venom. I want to see that done right. I want to see this proper Sinister Six, which I think they're kind of doing now. They've got all these people showing up in Spider-Man 3. There's like Spider-Man kind of hints in the Morbius film with Jared Leto and stuff like that. I think it's all coming together, bro. It's all coming together. And I think as well, it's been said in Tom Holland's like contracts, apparently, it's said that he can bounce back and forth between the Sonyverse and the MCU. So I think
that he can't.
He can. He's able to, and he will apparently. So I think he's
Venom,
as like Spider-Man, but show up in the Morbius movie or in like Venom 3, or he could potentially have a little role in Venom 2.
Okay.
I think that's what their plan is. Fantastic Four, X-Men, Wolf, like all the Sony stuff coming over. I think it's all going to be part of the same picture. Did you see the leaks of the wrapping of the Spider-Man 3? Spider-Man 3 finished Spider-Man 3 finished production this week.
No.
And basically each of the cast and crew got like a gift basket from Marvel as a thank you for working on the movie, and one of the things in it was a picture of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man on like a promotional package, like gift box that they got. And it's him, and it's like Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's Andrew Garfield hanging upside down as Spider-Man. So people are like saying that's confirmed that Andrew Garfield is going to be in the movie. And I hope that
is them fucking with everybody, and it was a big inside joke in the set that he wasn't there, but like they knew all the internet rumors.
Maybe.
So they're just like,
I think though as well, it's been like his stunt double has been seen on set with Tom Holland's stunt double. So they have the Andrew Garfield stunt double on set, Tom Holland stunt double on set. This guy went to Twitter or Instagram and he started putting up pictures with Tom Holland's stunt double, and he got in a lot of trouble over it. Apparently, he was like made by Marvel to take them down, and the pictures of this promo stuff that they were giving at the end of production, like all these pictures were forced to be taken down by Marvel and everything. So it's, again, I'm not jumping to any crazy conclusions here or anything, but I just think it's very much so.
Fenta, you're off both your feet already, man.
No, bro. It's not me. I didn't fucking start this. I'm just relaying information that I've heard.
You're on the bandwagon.
Bro, all I have ever wanted, the second I heard that this could be a possibility, all I have ever wanted is to see Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man again. I've got right there, my signed Tobey fucking picture by Stan Lee is right behind me. I want that thing to fucking shoot up in value, bro. That's my fucking pension plan right there.
Are you gonna sell it?
No. Well, not for a long time, but maybe before I die, I might pass it on to my kids.
I'll buy it after $50 right now. Take it or leave it.
Absolutely leave it.
$60.
My sister,
$60.
My sister won that for me in an auction in New York. She spent like $700 on it. It was insane.
Wow.
Insane.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
her sister.
Yeah.
Oh God, my sister.
She got it for me as like a housewarming gift when I moved into this place, and it has like a sort of authenticity and everything with it. Like, so I'm praying. I'm like sitting here going, "Oh my God, Toby, come to the MCU, please! Fucking jack this up in price, like, bring up that value, baby."
Here's the sad part though about everyone, and like the next Spider-Man movie. If those two, if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire don't show up in the next Spider-Man movie, everyone's gonna hate it. Everyone's gonna hate it.
Nah, they won't.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will. Yeah.
Do you know what's crazy?
Because you're a cynical guy.
I'm not cynical. I'm realist.
Do you know what's crazy?
I'm a positive person. How dare you?
I don't positive Pilgrim. I don't.
Positive Pilgrim.
I actually don't rate Far From Home very high on the MCU list. I know the MCU list is crazy. Like, you know, I've thought I obviously I'm Spider-Man is probably my favorite superhero, so I'm obviously going to automatically love anything, but I don't rate it as one of the best Spider-Man movies ever. But it's the highest. I think it's the highest performing Sony picture ever. It did like 1.2 billion in the box office. So people like, and again, I don't rate it very high in the list. I'd say it probably sits around the halfway mark in if you put all the Marvel movies together and start ranking them. I'd say it probably sits around the middle somewhere.
Yeah,
which I think is fair.
Here's my problem with the Spider-Man movies, and I could be wrong about this, but just like off, kind of what I've thought, is that Spider-Man is never solving these problems and doing it on his own. He's always getting something from someone else to solve the problem. Like Tony Stark's like, here's a new suit, here's a new gadget, here's a new thing. In Far From Home, Lucky or whatever, what's his name, flies in with a jet to like, hey, we're gonna rescue here. Here's all the stuff for you to, make your suit and get back. Like he never just solves it on his own by himself.
Well, he's a kid.
I think that's a big problem with Spider-Man.
I think that's
in the MCU.
That's something that that when I was growing up, I loved about Spider-Man. The fact that he was a kid, he's a teenager. I just related to him very much as a kid. I just thought, this guy never gets stuff right. He's always fucking up, and I think we all do. And I just think that it just became really relatable. Like he's always getting beaten up. At the end of every Spider-Man film, his suit is destroyed because like he just struggles so much to get across the finish line. And I think that's one thing that I love about Spider-Man. His fight is never easy. Like he never.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fight's never easy for him.
Yeah,
but he never wins it on his own. He does it with someone else helping him all the time.
That's the charm of him, I think.
I think what they're trying to get at there is that he's still very young. He's still a young Avenger himself. Like I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe head up or train the young Avengers. Like I think in Far From Home, isn't he only like still 15 years old or something, or 16 at the oldest? I know he blipped, so technically he should be 5 years older, but he's not. He's still like a 16-year-old. So I think he's still very young. I doubt
that Tom Holland lets himself be involved in the Young Avengers at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was probably a bit of a stretch, but I think it would kind of make sense. Like he is the next Tony Stark. I don't see him. Like I think as a character, Spider-Man could lead the Avengers, but I don't see Tom Holland being able to lead the Avengers.
I hope they introduce an MCU version of Miles Morales.
Yeah, I can see it's coming, bro. It's coming. 100%.
I can see Miles Morales like leading the Young Avengers. as Spider-Man.
He'll be a Young Avenger. That's where he'll be. Like, and I think there's been, again, to jump on the crazy train, but there's been pictures from the Spider-Man sets of a young guy who looks exactly like Miles on set, with the hair and everything, kind of like the Miles in the Spider-Verse. So I think there is a live action version of Miles coming. He already exists in the MCU. It's been confirmed. Donald Glover's character, like he says it in Spider-Man 1, he says, make sure to stop. Yeah, exactly. He's like, make sure to stop those bad guys. I've got a young nephew to look after in this area, like, So he references Miles. Miles is out there, so like that's definitely coming. There's also, I think they, again, getting a bit too deep into Spider-Man production. It's a big interest of mine, but apparently in what they did was they split the production team into two, and which isn't really very common unless they're doing kind of multiple location shoots. And I think what is happening is they're doing or they did, it's finished now, but they were doing a lot of their filming and production in Atlanta, and they were doing a lot of it in London as well. Drunky, you're not gonna like this, but Tobey Maguire was spotted doing Spider-Man costume fittings in London, right, as part of the London team, and Tom Holland and Andrew Garfield are in Atlanta. So what they're saying is a very possibility, because Tom Holland was asked about it in an interview, is Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man 3? His answer is no, and people are saying now that yes, he's not in it, because what they're doing is they're actually shooting Spider-Man 3 and Spider-Man 4 at the same time. They're shooting them back to back, or they have shot them back to back, and Tobey will show up as in like an end scene credit, and he's actually going to be in Spider-Man 4. Spider-Man 4 will launch the Spider-Verse. Boom! It's all coming, brothers.
That's a big one.
It's all coming, brothers.
That's a connect there.
I don't think so. Andrew, like Tobey Maguire, like it's been kind of speculated that he was in arguments with Marvel over contracts and stuff, and he wanted like $15 million to sign on to come back. And you know, it was a lot of the reporters and stuff are reporting that he had to come back and said that, you know, they agreed to terms. He was spotted in London fitting for Spider-Man, you know, so it's like and here's another fantastic theory that I heard, which if they do this would be fucking incredible. Again, I heard this, I didn't make this up, but
why would you make it up?
No, I would love to be able to be making up theories like this. I would love this much knowledge. But here's one that I heard, and I thought, if this comes true, this would be incredible. So, you know the way, obviously, as Spider-Man, we always get to meet Uncle Ben. We always see him die. In the MCU, we haven't seen Uncle Ben die yet, right? So, apparently...
It's Tobey Maguire.
So apparently Tobey Maguire, his part, he's not going to have a big part in Spider-Man. Where he's going to actually have a big part, which is going to kind of mirror the performance that he did in, or was supposed to do in Into the Spider-Verse, is he's going to show up in Doctor Strange 2. And basically Doctor Strange is going to somehow pull him from the multiverse. And he's going to have a big role, kind of like what the old Spider-Man, Spider B Parker in Into the Spider-Verse had. He's going to have that with Doctor Strange in Doctor Strange 2. And basically, he's going to demask himself, and Tom Holland is going to say, Uncle Ben, ? And it's going to be like that version of Toby in the MCU was actually Uncle Ben who died, but in another universe, he's Spider-Man. Oh my god, could you fucking imagine, bro? That right there, like, that is cinematic genius right there.
Technically that means,
so in our universe,
Maguire
Earth 1 or Earth 6
making out with his aunt and boning his aunt.
No, he's
Yeah?
Rule 34.
Yeah?
Well,
that makes sense.
no, but like it is as in if he's Uncle Ben in our Earth, wink wink, but in other Earths he's not. He's actually Peter Parker. So yeah, if he was to come back,
that means he's boinking Aunt May then, right?
It would be kind of weird, yeah. But
I'm just saying.
I love the theory.
Is he boinking the hot Aunt May, or is he, which Aunt May is he?
Well, his Aunt May is the old woman who.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe both now. This is the problem. We have the multiverse.
Well, that's it. Like in the multiverse, it's different characters though. I heard that, I read it, and I was like, holy shit, this would be fucking incredible. I would just could you just imagine Tom Holland going, Uncle Ben, is that you? Like, you know, I just think that's
for your sake. I hope it's true.
Again, I don't really care what happens. I just love the idea. I think it would be incredible.
You're invested. You care. You're invested.
I'm invested in anything Spider-Man, but you know, I'm ready. I'm ready for disappointment. WandaVision has taught me all about disappointment, so I'm ready. But I don't think anything that they can do for that character, to me, is going to be a fail. Like, even the second Andrew Garfield movie was terrible, but I loved like a lot of parts of it. You know, I loved him as Peter Parker. I thought he was a great Peter Parker. I loved the Spider-Man suit. The action in those movies was incredible. I just think the villains in the second one were terrible, and I'm kind of sad that they're coming back as well. Like, I don't like Jamie Foxx. I didn't think he was good, and it's kind of weird that they're bringing him into the MCU when they could bring back probably some better characters. But yeah, there's very little that Spider-Man could do wrong in my eyes. And
are we getting Spider-Man before Doctor Strange?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man 3.
What is that?
Cyborg Spider-Man? Let's go.
Yeah, TR wanted to see some of Mex's funk.
Yeah, Mex has probably the biggest.
There now.
Mex has the biggest like Funko Pop collection I've ever seen. That's probably not even a quarter of it, is it?
All 175 of them are right here.
Yeah, you see,
they're like rows. They're like rows of like.
Oh, they're stacked backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's incredible. Like any like Mex always sends me pictures of new stuff that he gets. Like, and it's just, I've never seen a collection like it. It's the biggest collection that I've ever seen of Funkos.
My man's Funkoed out of his mind.
He is.
Dude, some of these are like worth like triple like when they like went for when I first got them.
Yeah.
Like my most expensive one's like $150 and I paid like $15 for it.
Holy fuck.
Oh. Yeah. And are they sealed? Like, you haven't opened the boxes or anything?
all
Brilliant.
still in the box.
Excellent. That's what you want.
About like 75% of them are all like brand new.
It's like Beanie Babies for nerds. For bigger nerds.
I'm hoping that sometime in the future,
Astrovar has 3 rooms full. Holy shit! Someone in my chat there saying Astrovar has 3 rooms full of Funko stuff. That's crazy, man. I only have a couple of Funkos. What I used to do, I don't really collect them, but when I go to like comic conventions, if I'm meeting like an actor that I really like, I'll have a Funko and I'll get them to sign it. So like I have Green Arrow, I have Deathstroke, I have who else did I meet? Oh my god, I can't even think right now.
I'm not a fan of the Funkos.
I only have a couple of them, but like I just like the ones that I've gotten signed. Like I have like the Green Arrow one actually signed by him, and the guy who played Deathstroke on TV, he was in Spartacus, Manu Bennett. I met him. He was such a legend, and he has this line in the show where he's like, at the end of one of the seasons, he gets locked up and he's like, I keep my promises. He's like, he'll get his revenge. And when I met him, he gave me like the most firm handshake I've ever gotten in my life. And he was just like, I keep my promises, kid. And I was like, holy shit. Like, he was in character and all. He wrote it on the side of the box for me when he signed it. I was like, this guy's a fucking legend. Like, love it.
Ooh, no, but it's I like the look of him, but I feel like I hate owning stuff. Like I hate having a lot of stuff. I feel like that's where it like gets me, you know.
I'm a collector. I'm very much like Max. Like I can't wait to get my, like you'll see the shelf behind me there. That's all DVDs right there behind me. Like, and I love having games and DVDs and stuff. Like just on the bookshelf behind me. But like I'm gonna have, when I get my room, like my proper stream room sorted, I'll probably have a couple of shelving units, and I'm gonna put up like I have like a full fucking flash mask that sits in a thing, like in a case. And
I can't wait to see your stream.
Oh, it's gonna be incredible. Like some of the stuff, I've got this really cool what's his name? Heath Ledger fucking Joker. Like proper like printout like frame thing that I'm gonna put up as well. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it, dudes.
The only rumors that WB is looking to use the Flash movie to close out the Snyderverse.
Thanks for the follow, dude. I think that makes sense, because if that was to happen, I think because that movie, like they're selling it as a Flashpoint movie, so I think what's going to probably happen is it'll start as a Snyder movie, and then what will happen is Barry will change the timeline, and when he comes back, they have free reign then to change whatever the fuck they want. They can have a different person playing Batman. Like they can just pull fucking Robert Pattinson into the DCEU and just be like, hey, this has been Batman the entire time, and the only person that will know any different is Barry, and he'll kind of be weird with him for a little while, and then he'll just have to accept that this is Batman. Like they have free reign to just retcon anything they want, and I think it's the way that they should do it. You can have the same guy play Aquaman, but you can just change the character however you want, because he's technically a different timeline version of himself. So, you know what I mean? Then they can get rid of Amber Heard if they want, with all this bad publicity that she's got, and just bring in somebody else. Did you see they were trying?
Wait, people don't like Amber Heard? What? Where's this coming from?
All right, well, before we dive too deep, I gotta go. I gotta get ready for work, guys.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for being here, bro.
Max.
Thank you guys for having me. Also, she was a real piece of shit to Johnny Depp. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm out.
I don't know.
I love you guys. Bye, Drunky. Bye, Anders.
Later, brother.
Help Pinto.
Later, dude.
Bye, chat. Bye, guys.
Bye, Max.
I miss him already. I miss him.
He's a good
amazing
man. He's a good man. He's a good man. Yeah, so like I think sorry, just talking about the Flash, like I'm a big, as you know, I'm a big DC guy, and I'm a big Flash fan, so I think they have a real opportunity. Knowing DC, they'll fuck it up severely, but I think they have a real opportunity to just change whatever they want. Like there's already word that they've recast the guy who plays his dad, so does he go back to try and save his mom, and then they'll do the first scenes when he comes back and his dad's a different person, like, you know, and then they could just explain it as, oh, the timeline's different, you know. So I just think, yeah, they've got free reign to kind of do whatever they want, which I think is what they need, because
if they reset the entire DCEU and Ezra Miller's the only one that made it, I've never I will not watch. Like he's like this. I cannot stand watching that dude as a Flash.
I think he's
like he just
yeah. I don't know, like. Unless they did it something where he died. No, like seriously, they could.
I'm down for it. Yeah,
they could do. They've done it plenty of times in the comic books. Like they do it. There was a great story in the comics where, Barry tries to run into the future to prevent something, and he ends up running too fast and just basically disappears. And people just think that he just evaporated into nothing. But what happened was he actually got stuck in the Speed Force. So he ends up being stuck there for what in the comics it was actually, I think, the space of like 12 years our time. He was gone. The Barry Allen, the character, was just dead, and Wally West took over, and he was the Flash. So if they wanted to get rid of Ezra Miller, they could do something like that. He's running on the treadmill, and he just evaporates and disappears, and then somebody else takes up the mantle of the Flash. That could be a way to get rid of Ezra, which I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. You know what? A lot of people love the guy who plays him on the TV show, Grant Gustin. Like, everyone loves him, so everyone's kind of saying, like, oh, I'll get Grant in to play him in the movies, and they've already met in the show. Like, Ezra was actually in the show, and I love that scene. Like, it's just so funny. He ends up meeting him in the show. Have you ever seen it?
I've never. I feel like I've seen a screenshot of that clip, but I don't think they would bring the TV guy over to the actual DCEU on the big screen to be the main Flash.
I would normally agree with you. I think, you know, everyone kind of did the same thing when there was rumors of a Green Arrow. They wanted the guy who played him on TV to be the movie version, and it's just like, you know, it's not the same thing. It can't be done, really. But I think if there's one character that you could do it with, it's this version of the Flash. I think it's the one time that it could work, you know. Yeah. I'm gonna pull this. I'm gonna pull this up on my stream just to watch it, because it's actually a very funny clip. Check this out. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 sec, guys, just while we watch this clip, okay?
Yeah, I'll watch it on the stream. So.
Yeah, throw it up on the stream, because I think I tried to share my screen before with you guys here, and it just doesn't play the sound. So just pull the stream up for 1 sec. Check this out. This is epic.
Each of us. I mean, the Speed Force is infinite. I could never know where to begin to look.
Remember, Barry, memories and connections you need to consider our greatest victories, our most crushing defeats, the moments when the bonds between us were forged.
When the bonds were forged.
Now do
Yo, Bobby, what's up, dude?
Barry.
Because you have to.
Yeah, Vint, I agree completely. Barry is definitely... He's very cocky. He's a very cocky character. But I do like Grant's version of him.
Hello?
What the hell is this? Asking myself the same question. Literally. No, this can't be happening. What are you doing here?
Well, I'll tell you that when you tell me where here is. Is this cosplay? Oh, do you want a selfie, bro?
No,
I'm sorry.
We're not. No. I'm also the Flash.
You're also the what?
The Flash?
The Flash?
I love he's like, ooh, that sounds great. I love that.
I like your outfit. It seems comfy.
Yours is pretty cool.
Smooth.
Seems safe and
breathable.
It's breathable.
About Barry Allen. No! What does that mean?
This should be impossible now.
It should be impossible now?
You don't know about the...
Oh my god, don't do this to me. I don't know about the what. Okay.
Yo, Asma, what's up? Bobby.
Don't figure this was possible.
What does this mean?
Epic.
Flash is so scrawny on the TV show.
Yeah, he's a skinny guy. I just think, like, that is epic. I'm sorry. Like, that to me is, like, nerd TV right there. Like, I love the way he goes to, just as he's fading away, he's like, oh my god, I told Victor that was possible. You know, because him and Cyborg, during the Snyder Cut, have like such a bromance going, but you don't see it in the Joss cut. And now after we've seen the Snyder Cut, you can clearly see, like, he's like, obviously, you know, that is something that him and Victor would talk about, you know, when they're just kind of shooting shit, talking about possibilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I just love where he's like, "Oh, your suit is so breathable and all."
Yeah, breathable. I was dying with that. Holy fuck.
Yeah. The that helmet that Ezra wears, that's the one I have. I actually have that the thing of that. It's really cool. So like when I get my stream room, that'll be like probably sitting on a shelf like right behind my head, like because there was an episode of The Flash where one of the villains like gets shot into the future and he had like a case with like all of these heroes like masks and stuff, and one of them was like the Flash helmet sitting on a mannequin head, and I was like, fuck, I want that looks so cool to have that there. And like I ended up finding it online, like the mannequin head with the Flash helmet on it, and I was like, I'm buying that right now. So that had to be done. But yeah, I think like I don't know if Marvel will ever do stuff like that. I just think it would be so cool. Like in the comics and stuff, like the way they have like, you know, the Hydra cap and stuff like that. Like I think, imagine like Chris Evans coming back in, but he's like an alternate version of himself, but he's a villain, and then, you know, him fighting John Walker as US agent or something like that would just be fucking wild. Like,
yeah, it would be.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think there's possibilities for shit like that. Like definitely, especially after Doctor Strange 2. I think, you know, if we're having these conversations after Doctor Strange 2, I think it'll be a much different conversation, you know? I just think it's going to blow the doors wide open.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the future, what do we have after this? After Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is it a hiatus, and then there's what if? Or what's...
We have...
Black Widow, right?
Black Widow in July now. I think it was meant to be... Was it meant to be April? But now it's July. So we were meant to be getting it very soon. But then we got... actually before Black Widow, we have Loki in June.
Yeah. In June, okay.
Yeah.
So we have like 2 months off.
Yeah, 2 months. Yeah. And then we have... we got Loki, then Black Widow, then What If, and then Shang-Chi, then The Eternals, and then Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, and that's all this year. They're all this year. That's all 2021.
Spider-Man is the only thing I want to really see.
I'm interested in the Eternals, because I think the Eternals is supposedly gonna tie in with like Secret Invasion and stuff like that. So I think we might see a lot of the like the real Nick Fury in like Eternals and Secret Invasion and stuff. I'm looking forward to then as well. Obviously, Doctor Strange is going to be big. Thor 4. I'm kind of scared for that one because I think it could be Chris Hemsworth's last movie, which I'm very upset about. I love Chris Hemsworth. Black Panther 2, which again is going to be like July 2022. Then you got Captain Marvel 2, which I won't say anything about that one. I'll just wait and see. Ant-Man 3 will be good.
It. Like
I think they
Captain
will.
Marvel has such potential because Brie Larson, like, her moments in Endgame with Spider-Man, I was like, dude, why don't they bring that Captain Marvel?
Yes.
Where she's like, hey, Peter Parker. And she like kind of had like, there's just the sense of not as serious as it needs to be, you know?
Yeah.
She has something about her. I 100% agree.
She actually felt like a Marvel superhero in that moment. Where like Captain America's like really serious, and then he'll have moments of lightness where he's like, "Hey, what's up, Queens? Oh, Boston, or Brooklyn." You know, there's this sense, and I think they missed that in Captain Marvel.
I think so. Yeah, I think they were trying to like intro her as like the most badass character in the entire universe. I think like you know it was like, let's bring this woman in, and straight away she's the most badass thing in the universe. And I just think it was a little too serious. And just like the comedy in it wasn't very good either, like, and I just think that, you know, as you say, in Endgame, she was a much better character in Endgame than she was in her own film.
Yeah,
and I think that's just down to scripts and writing and all that.
Russo
sort of
brothers.
Exactly. Russo's come in and they just steal the show, and
they know what makes a character good. They know what parts of that character is like what they need to bring out more.
Yeah.
But for how long will we get to keep the Russell brothers for the MCU?
I think they're done. Like, I don't think they're due to come back, or if they are coming back, it's not going to be for a long time. There's no, like, in everything that's in development, they don't have their hands in any of it, and like that's all the way up to Deadpool 3, you know, which is like in development at the moment, and like they're talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is like due to be released in
2023, right?
Yeah, 2023. Yeah, so exactly, like, so I don't think that they have their names attached to anything at the moment, which is in development. So like that's kind of, you're talking 2024, 25 maybe before they maybe make a reappearance. So that's a long time.
I would say they do the Fantastic Four.
No, John Watts is doing that. That's already done.
He's gonna fail for some reason.
Well, he did Spider-Man, so I think he's kind of in good hands.
They're gonna dig up some old tweets, and he's gonna be out.
Oh yeah. Yo, Circa, what's up, dude? He just watched the episode, so good. Yeah, I think it's the best Disney like content we've had so far, for sure. I think that's the best.
Like Eternals, like what's Eternals? Like where does this fit in? Like I just don't get it, man. Like
yeah, I don't know.
Like do Justice League and introduce too many new characters at the same time.
They all look the same too. Like like they all have like the same suit. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
They
really,
all kind of like seem like the same character.
I don't really know much about the characters.
Yeah,
I was looking at the cast, and they have Jon Snow and Robb Stark like both in it. Like, so it's kind of like it's we're gonna be fucking just thinking back on Game of Thrones while watching it. Which I think is
fun.
I am thrilled for What If. I'm really thrilled for What Ifs.
What If is the animated one, right?
Yeah, the anime.
Yeah. I think that'll be fun.
Yeah, but I want to see the Watchers. I want to see the Watchers, like, and what's his name, Uatu, like the main Watcher, and see how they make them and how they like fit into the rest of the MCU. Because I don't think it's gonna be just hypothetical. I think it's gonna span into something realistic as well.
Guys, do you mind if I just run to the bathroom real quick? If you guys just keep talking, I'll be back in 1 minute.
Oh, here we go.
I'll be back in 1 second. Yeah, just don't get me banned on Twitch, please. Thank you.
All right. All right, Andrew, you want to do a hot tub stream, or you want to turn this into a workout stream? Which is your choice.
Well, you don't know me, but I am easily to take off my shirt. So we can start with that.
I'm excited for like What If, because I think they're going to be interesting stories, right? But unless they do tie it into the overall MCU, then I'm not super thrilled for it, because like what I like about the MCU is that they're building different pieces of a puzzle, and so unless they do something like you said that has a piece of that puzzle, I'm not like super hyped up for it.
But I would be surprised if they didn't like introduce some real puzzle pieces. Like, I think everything they're gonna introduce could be something like really going into the MCU.
I don't know, because like we're gonna have zombie, the zombie characters, the zombie heroes, and Marvel Zombies. Like, how's that fit into anything? Like I just we'll see.
Well, everything can be answered with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and the Spider-Verse.
I think we're putting too much weight on this multiverse stuff, dude.
I know, but still, I'm excited about it. I have a good,
too much weight. I also I'm not hyped up for Shang-Chi. I know he's a pretty big comic book character, but they haven't teased him at all in anything, and then he's just getting dropped in here.
Yeah, no, I think that's like not getting political, but I think it's too much. Cool. Such of a flirting with China. Like, yeah,
maybe
they really want to flirt with the Chinese market, and I understand that it's tons of money. But I think they are going to make it so China washed that it will be like it will lose some of its charm, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know too much about it. We'll see. We'll see on that one. Because I think there really hasn't been a really successful character that wasn't or like a new hero that wasn't introduced in another thing first. Cool. By the way, Venneth, 5 get to subs. We see you. Finto's in the bathroom, but we feel you gifting these subs over.
You got some good names as well. Alioshi, Jamie Baby.
Oh yeah, big ones, huge ones.
Ciempo, that's yours, Bronxy's in real life friend.
Oh yeah. Bronxy in spirit.
Yeah.
So what is Marvel Zombies? Marvel Zombies is like just like an alternate telling where it's like, what would happen if zombies took over the MCU or like the Marvel universe, and like Captain America's a zombie now, and now he's like Zombie Cap, and it's just kind of like it is basically the horror telling, like a zombie movie, but with inside the Marvel universe, basically.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're doing that in the cartoon version and not
definitely
bringing back Steve Rogers to play a zombie and just like doing like Walking Dead kind of shit.
So,
but I think that's just going to be like a super tiny part of it, but they are focusing on it on trailer.
Right. Right.
If MCU is good at anything, it's releasing trailers that doesn't tell anything.
Very true. And then when it comes to Eternals, I think the Eternals is actually where we're going to get the mutants introduced. I think everyone keeps speculating. I think the Eternals bring the mutants. That's the only way. That's the only thing that's coming up that I think is big enough to be a mutant moment. That's like, how do they come to this universe? Of the Eternals. That's how.
Yeah, very likely.
Because Ms. Marvel, not hyped up about that show. Sleeper. Hawkeye, not hyped up about that show.
Oh,
Sleeper.
I'm hyped.
I'm hyped for that one.
You guys are out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, Ronan. Oh my god.
I mean, I will say this, like,
Yo, Vid, 5 gifted subs. What the fuck,
like,
dude?
I think those two shows
I'm only noticing
are, like,
right now.
CW shows
Oh
of the
my
Marvel
god.
universe, and like you can
Thank you
miss
so
me with
much,
that
dude.
nonsense.
5 gifted subs.
I'm just
You're a
not
legend,
excited
bro.
about the,
Tips to
the
you,
young
sir.
teenager. Let me get my angsty emotions into this deal. Like, it's just not for me.
What, Kate Bishop? You mean? Are you talking about Kate Bishop?
With Hawkeye, it's gonna be like a young one, right?
It's him. It's Jeremy Renner. Like, it's Clint and like Kate.
Yeah, but
Kate-
that's not
Kate
his
Bishop.
Hawkeye logo. That's like the younger one.
Bitch better have my honey. Oh.
Yeah, no, she's like his sidekick. Like, she's like his protege.
Yeah.
I to be honest, like, and like I hate like cheering on this fucking video game, but that Avengers game, I thought like the DLCs for Kate Bishop and I thought the DLC for Hawkeye, I thought, they're really cool, like, intros to the character. I didn't really know much about Kate Bishop, but I'm more interested to see a live action version of it now, just after watching that,
Mm-hmm.
or
I always thought the
after
story
playing
was really
that.
good with those games for sure.
Yo, Vid, thank you so much for the 100 bits. You're a legend, dude.
I think Vito's thanking Vince now.
I was, yeah, sorry.
That's
I'm
good.
drinking. Do you guys have Peroni?
Yes, we do have Peronis.
Yeah, we
This
do, yeah.
probably my favorite lager right now. I
yeah.
love it. Really nice beer.
It's a good lager.
Yeah, nice Italian.
Get
Italian
yourself a nice
finest.
Peroni.
Oh
The
yes. Oh yes.
fourth best thing coming from Italy.
Yo guys, thanks for contributing to the boost. The best thing.
fourth
The
best?
best. Fourth best. Woohoo.
Yeah, the fourth best thing coming from Italy is Peroni.
they
We
got-
got pizza.
Yeah,
we got
pizza, yeah.
pasta,
Yes.
And then we got Frankie, and then we got Peroni.
Love it, dude. Love it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm excited for the Hawkeye show. I am definitely like. I like Jeremy Renner. I think he's a cool character.
Yeah. And I think it was bland in the beginning, but I think they've done him some real justice in the latest movies and whatnot.
They should have brought him in WandaVision, right? Like, he should have been in WandaVision.
He should have. He should have been.
I think so too. Like, yeah, especially if he's getting his own show as well. I'm surprised that the guys in the TV cast, if we'll call them that now, I'm surprised that they didn't cross over with each other. And I think, like, I know there was meant to be a 10th episode of WandaVision, and there wasn't due to COVID restrictions and stuff like that. People traveling. Apparently, they say Benedict Cumberbatch was meant to make an appearance in WandaVision, but he couldn't get out of the UK. He couldn't get to the US.
Well, I mean, that's bullshit. Like, if they wanted him really badly, they could have sold it.
I don't know. Or maybe he himself wasn't comfortable traveling or something like that. Like, I know
That could be it. That could be it.
There's a lot of people that are, especially last year, maybe not so much this year. I think people have they're fed up with COVID and, just saying fuck it at this stage. But I think last year a lot of people were very cautious about traveling and so on. And
yeah, but still, I mean, they can fly private and they can just land in and be isolated in a bubble, and that's it.
Yeah,
basically.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But I just think the way that show was going, it just made so much sense that he would show up like this. He's even mentioned in the fucking show. Like, they talk about the Sorcerer Supreme, like, so he was mentioned in the show. I just really found it weird that he didn't show up, and especially like with all of the stuff that was going on, all of the magic and stuff. Like, I feel like he would have like felt the magical presence in the universe or whatever.
But he's been mentioned now.
Yo, guys, thank you so much for contributing to the boost. Let's go.
Well.
Let's go.
So,
let's go.
Like, we don't expect him to show up here, don't we?
I don't know why not. After Endgame, I don't know why all these guys.
I can't, bro.
No,
Come on.
from a character point of view, right? Could you imagine working with, you know, Sam Wilson and working with Bucky? You got everybody saves the fucking universe together. It's like, now there's shit going on. You've clearly made friends with these people. Like, you know, you've just like stopped an alien from blowing up the planet. Would you not like want to see what the fuck is going on when there's like terrorist threats going on in Europe? Like, would Benedict Cumberbatch not do his little circular thing and just walk into Europe in like a split second and be like, "Hey guys, you need a hand"?
You know? It's a little small. I think it's a little small for Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
he is about saving reality. You know.
Well, true, but
keeping the super soldiers in order.
True, but not for him in Winter Soldier. But like, I really think he should have really gone and checked out Westview with all the fucking magic going on.
Sure.
You know, yeah. I think that was kind of crazy.
Unless he's off reality doing his own thing.
Thank you, dude. Thank you.
He's trapped somewhere.
Ooh, yeah.
But without the
Dormammu, whatever that guy's name is.
Without the time stone, will he like? What's his like main focus right now? Protecting reality, but
well, he should have the time stone back, right? Because that was Steve Rogers' last mission to return the stones.
Not in our timeline. In our timeline, it's gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he returned it back to the ancient one from the moment where Hulk.
Yeah, they didn't have the time stone in our timeline. That's why they had to go back to New York.
T-Fire, yes, you have to contribute to, guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kind of like, yeah, the whole kind of like, I know time travel kind of like, it always confuses me a little bit. I try and think about it too much. I just don't accept like as it's played out sometimes. Like Steve Rogers, he goes back in time, drops back the stones, and then he lives out his life back in 1945 with Peggy Carter, right? And then at the end of the movie, he's old. Right? So are we not in that timeline when...
Nope. I think he came back.
He still had like his thing to come back to our timeline. I think he went to another timeline, lived his life. So now there's a split timeline, which might be a problem. Which might be what Doctor Strange movie is about. Like, hey, Steve fucked the timeline up. Now there's two fucking timelines. Because Steve went and lived his life back then. And then he comes back to ours once he's an old man. Because he had a return trip back to the deal.
Yep.
And how he got there, where he come from, I don't know. You know, that's all up to the writers, but
yeah,
he'd have like one trip back.
I don't think we have a reality where like the
T-Fire, good night. See you tomorrow. It might be Fortnite customs tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I'll decide tomorrow.
Where there was an old Steve Rogers just sitting in
Cajun, I hope you're having a good day, dude.
With Peggy being old. I don't think so. I think he came back for this moment.
So you think he lived in a different timeline altogether?
I think lived in a different timeline altogether. Yeah.
I think if you go back and you start watching the prior movies, like I think there's always kind of a bit of a shadow over who her husband was. Like, you know, you don't see pictures of him, you don't see anything. So I think it kind of made sense to me at the end of the movie that it was him this entire time. That he just kind of lived in secret in our timeline. And just
that makes it even more fucked up that he snuck up with Shannon.
I just don't like.
Well, that's the older version of himself. I think there's two versions of himself alive in the timeline at that time. So there's Cap comes, like, he goes back, lives in our timeline, but in the 40s and grows old. But then it still happens in 2012 that he comes out of the ice and there's the younger version of himself. So at that time, there's two versions of him. This is the part of time travel that confuses the shit out of me. Like, I'm like, where does the loop start? You know, like it's like
I feel like the way they explained it inside of their universe, inside of Endgame's timeline, right, inside of their time theory,
Loki? There's the whole shit with Loki as well,
and diverging it. You know,
yeah. There's a whole fucking part to play with Loki.
I don't know.
As well,
I gotta be honest with you. I fucking hate time travel storylines. I hate it. I barely enjoy multiverse stuff. Yeah, time travel stuff. I'm like, I'm out. I'm like, whatever, dude. Like,
it always
nothing matters in.
I'm just glad they didn't make it as they make it in like Back to the Future and so on, where like change something here and something changes in the future. Like they at least made it like it's a separate timeline. We can't change what already happened in what is now our past by becoming in the future. We can't change that, but we can go into an alternate timeline and like retrieve stuff. So at least I think. Because otherwise,
isn't that how
maybe Hitler? But they can't do that because that would not make Hitler in our timeline disappear because he's already been here, and so on. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Just it always confuses me a little. I just find it can be tough to.
I mean, it is confusing. It is confusing.
Yeah.
Which he gives him a different shield too, right?
Sorry.
He gives him like a different shield than he went back with.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's a different shield.
His shield's like all fucked up after Endgame.
Yeah.
Does it get broken in Endgame at some point?
Yeah. Thanos like splits that shit in half.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what? Again, I'm like, where's the shield? But although then didn't when Thor went back, he went to Asgard and then he grabs the hammer from 2013 and brings it back with him. So the hammer's back after Hela destroyed it. I'm like, what's going on? You know, it is confusing as fuck. Like,
this means that Thor in that timeline does not have a hammer.
Well, I think he returns a hammer.
Oh yeah,
he takes it with him.
Yeah,
he does. That's true. That's true. But for a short second, he didn't. It's like, what?
Right.
Yeah. It's it's fucking confusing.
But like the actual shield he gives Falcon.
Oh, Darren, what's up?
Has like different design. It has a different design. It has like a metal inlay in it.
Yeah,
it's maybe he went there and talked to Howard, like he died, and just like, hey man, you know, in 40 years this will happen. Can you make me another one? Because I need to bring it to this guy Sam. You don't know him, but he's great.
He shows up while he's making. He's like, "Oh, that's a great design. What do you think about some like another star in there? I don't know. I just some ideas. I don't know."
Sam wouldn't like that. Sam wouldn't like that. You know, make it a bit more florid. Yeah.
Make a place you can have like a Falcon jump out of something. I don't know, like a mechanical one. That'd be nice.
Kitchen says Thor has two because he had another one made, but wasn't that the Stormbreaker? That wasn't. He made a Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
it wasn't Mjolnir or whatever it's called.
No. Yeah, we're talking about how Thor went back, grabbed Mjolnir in the past when he was with Rocket.
Yeah.
And then at the end of Endgame, Steve
he's got the
takes
two
that
of them.
back.
He's got the two of them like together, like, and he's fighting with both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then he takes that Mjolnir back to the exact moment where Thor would have stolen it, so that timeline doesn't fuck up. It keeps that timeline in order.
Yeah. So
like, this is why time travel stuff is dumb. It's just dumb. It's dumb.
Is. And again, I'm still kind of stuck on the shield. The shield was destroyed in Endgame. So Steve, he went back and then stole an older version of it and then kept it to give to Sam. Like,
different timeline. He brought it from his timeline, the other timeline he created, right? Because he went back and lived his life with Peggy.
Yeah.
So it's a different time of two different timelines going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Doesn't this feel like a multiverse of madness at this point?
Yeah. Do you think in that timeline, Cap was like living his life with Peggy, and then like back in 2000, what is it, 11,
12,
like,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, well, then another Cap is just popping up of the ice and just like, yeah, that's me, but I'm secret.
When Cap came out of the ice, sorry, remind me of this, because I know people were talking. I saw people talking about this with Isaiah, that he have Cap's shield when he was the Black Captain America. Steve was found with the shield, right? Wasn't he in the ice? Yeah. That's what I thought.
He did not have Cap's shield.
It's a different shield that he must have had.
Yeah, the one he's gonna give his grandson when he dies.
Oh, exactly.
In the show.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Do you think that the grandson already has powers, like just naturally?
I don't know.
Genetically sent down to him.
I don't think they changed DNA in that way that it'll be genetically like moved down to the next generation.
Here's another one as well. Didn't Peggy have kids?
She did.
So they're Steve's kids?
I don't think so, no.
Not in our timeline.
Nope.
Because then he's making out with Sharon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's all weird.
Yeah, but now it's like when he goes back now, does he like I'd love to know after he goes back, is her like kind of perception of Steve then changed because she knows him then as kind of Uncle Steve instead of
No, because that's another timeline.
Yeah,
she might not be around that timeline.
Yeah, it's so fucked. I get so confused. Like the more I talk about the timelines, the worse it gets. Like I get
this
really
is very easy for scientists like myself. Don't try to understand this stuff. Just it's fine.
I understand it.
Yeah. Circus in my chat. Circus in my chat. Now I'm confused. I hate you all.
Yeah, we got him. Got his ass.
Yeah, so I think if what you're saying is right, there's a parallel universe. I saw something about they should have potentially, if they could have, now maybe it was a plan, but they couldn't get Chris Evans to be involved. But I would have loved to see a little 6 mini part series or whatever of him actually returning the stones. Because I saw some fan made this video. I don't know if it was like a fan made video or if it was a deleted scene. It looked so good that it had to be a deleted scene to me. But it's Cap going back to drop off the Soul Stone, and when he returns it, he sees like then Natasha like kind of curled up on the ground, and then he walks over to her, and it's just like, we've got work to do, and then it just cuts. Like I'll find the clip that I was watching, but it looks too good to be fan made. I think it's a deleted scene from Endgame or something like that. But then that if that is an actual deleted scene, that's kind of confirmed that Natasha's alive again in that timeline. Or is that yeah, but how, like, again, I don't understand how returning the stones to a different timeline is going to fix our timeline. Like, our timeline is what now? Fuck, because there's no stones in it? Like, the stones...
No, in our timeline there is no stones. They are destroyed and they are returned. So we have a reality right now without stones.
Flo, what's up, dude? How are you? Hope
Seems
you're
like a perfect recipe for a multiverse of madness, doesn't it?
Oh!
I'm just saying, twice in one podcast, I got it.
Yeah.
Full circle here.
Full circle, baby. Yeah, no,
twice in 7 minutes as well.
I really think that, yeah, like that's where it's going. Like it's these like events, like Wanda and Spider-Man's going to do something as well. Or right. Doctor Strange is going to do something in Spider-Man, which is going to crack open the Spider-Verse along with the multiverse or whatever, or it's the same thing technically. And I think that's like all coming into then Doctor Strange 2, where he's going to actually try and fix all of it. But then I think maybe he's not going to be able to fix it, or else he's going to like bring it back to one timeline, which then brings in, like, say, the X-Men or Fantastic Four or something like that. I think that's where it's going. Like I heard
the Fantastic Four are coming in the Quantumanium.
That's actually, I read that. That's where they're coming in. There's a comic storyline apparently where after Civil War in the comics, Peter Parker reveals himself as Spider-Man, and then how they end up fixing that issue is Doctor Strange casts a spell on the entire world to make them forget that fact that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And I'm wondering, is potentially...
That's a little much.
Yeah, it's like brainwash the entire globe. But apparently, I'd say we could realistically, like, very big possibility of us seeing something like that happening in Doctor Strange or maybe in Spider-Man, and then the ripple effect of actually doing that maybe crack something in reality.
I would hate that if they just like, hey, we did this, now just magic and gone.
Yeah, I think that
Fantastic Four.
Well, just to because you know the way at the end of Spider-Man 2, the entire world now knows Peter's identity. I think that will be erased somehow. I think Doctor Strange will do that in the movies as well.
I would not like that. I would like.
I don't think you can have. I don't think you can have Spider-Man as a character without the whole secret identity thing. It's such a big. It's such a big part of his story is the fact that, you know, he does it. He keeps his identity a secret to protect May and protect Mary Jane and all this sort of thing. Like it's that's the way, like, it has always kind of been for him. I think it would be weird having him out in the public eye, especially him being so young as well. Like I don't think he's going to be like a Tony Stark where it's going to be like, you know, I am Spider-Man, like, you know. I just don't think so. Doctor Strange started Men in Black, confirmed.
Who is the strongest Avenger?
Thor.
Is it though?
Captain Marvel, duh. Come on, boys.
Thor literally had the power of a star go through him as he kept that gate open to create.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that, I want to see A3 one more time. I want to see A3.
Yeah, he's cool.
Like a dwarf kingdom.
Yeah, like he had the power of the star go through him, but then Thanos like tossed him around like it was nothing.
Yeah, but like that was after
and then
5 years of him just drinking and eating and like he was just wrecked, a broken man.
I have two people. It's Doctor Strange or Scarlet Witch. Those are the two.
I think Kevin Feige came out and actually said that it is Scarlet Witch. She is the strongest. Yeah, that's officially the statement. But it is Scarlet Witch technically. Yeah, Peter Quill is the son of a planet.
That is true. I
thought that was an interesting story.
Half a planet, though.
I thought that was an interesting story, but they just wiped all that in the movie. Like, you know, he just went back to being human, like, you know. So
the second Guardians is a little weaker than the first.
I agree. I wasn't a big fan of it. My girlfriend absolutely loves the Guardians movies. Like, they're probably her favorites. Like, but for me, it's again, they'd be kind of bottom half of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yo, Freak Lime, what's up?
But they are enjoyable.
Freak Lime, I'm up the top. You got Anders down the bottom, and the main man Drunky himself on the left.
I really enjoyed the movies. I do.
Yeah.
I love the comedy. I love the music. Like, there's a lot there that I love. I'm not the biggest Chris Pratt fan, to be honest. You know, he's cool and all, but it's just like I'm not 100% sold on him. Like,
since PNR. Like, I love Chris Pratt, and I think he's pulled the role really good.
I think I still hate him over the whole Thanos thing in Infinity War. I can't get over that. You know, where he fucks up the glove getting taken off. I just think, like, I'm still upset about that. You know, he's such a fucking idiot. He starts pistol whipping Thanos. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Just stop. They have the glove off, like, and like, just stop. He could have saved the entire globe, like the entire universe, like, you know.
Mantis is strong as fuck, though. Fucking
officially it is Scarlet Witch, and like I want to see her in like a kind of endgame scenario again, like after everything, like, you know, like I kind of want to see her in a big kind of epic fight against like who's the next big villain that they bring in, like
Scarlet Witch.
Well, yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think if she
set
flips,
her up to be the strongest person in the MCU right now, to set her up as a villain.
How dare you, Kitchen? How dare you?
Because she is a villain right now. She, like, what she did to that town is terrible.
Oh yeah, well, like at the end of the show, she's really like she's like being absorbed by the Darkhold, like, cool. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So I think they're setting her up to be the baddie in
Freak Lime.
I really do.
3 months of tier 1 to
we
Circa.
Get to see the two.
Let's go. Thank you so much.
Fight each other, like in a
You're a legend, Freak Lime. Thank you.
With Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. So, and like Doctor Strange is gonna have to do something out smarter. You know what I mean, to beat her. How he did Dormammu.
Yo, guys, as well. Thank you for anyone who contributed to the boost.
We're
almost there. We're nearly there.
That was a great scene.
The Dormammu scene. Do you mean the loop, the time loop with Dormammu?
Yeah,
is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think House of M is going to have a bigger... sorry, Cajun in my chat here just said House of M. I think House of M probably continues after Doctor Strange 2, maybe, somewhere. I think Wanda... Man. I think Wanda will be the big villain of Doctor Strange 2.
But I think to introduce House of M, I think they need to introduce the X-Men. I think.
This is what I was about to say. Yes, is correct. I think the House of M storyline will kind of be an underlying story that will go on throughout this phase. And I think what might happen is at the very end of the phase, you might get the kind of famous line with Wanda whispering "No more mutants" after they've all been introduced, and maybe 90% of them lose their powers, and then it kind of goes into a big X-Men story of them trying to regain their abilities and so on. I think that would be sweet.
But because House of M without X-Men,
it's nothing. It's nothing. Yeah.
They need to introduce so many more characters.
Yes. Yeah. Big time.
I mean, the whole thing with House of M is that Hugh Jackman or
yeah. Wolverine's a big part in it. You've got on Steve Rogers' team. You've got the likes of the Punisher and stuff like that, and Daredevil. Yeah. These guys have really big parts in House of M. Luke Cage, massive part. And I think this is all coming. Yeah. All these characters are coming. So I think House of M will be a very slow burner throughout, kind of an underlying story going on through Phase 4 and Phase 5. I think that makes so much sense to me.
I got goosebumps. You don't see him. I got goosebumps.
Yo, Limey, thank you for contributing.
With the production schedule they got set up, I would love it. But you're telling me they're introducing House of M at the end of Doctor Strange, and then we go into Thor: Love and Thunder.
No.
We go into Black Panther 2, then Captain Marvel 2, then Quantumania, then Moon Knight, then Ironheart, then She-Hulk. Where does mutants fit in there?
I just think it's going to be slowly drip to us. I think it's very much so. You might see a few characters kind of pop their heads up, and people are saying that maybe potentially even in this show, even in Falcon, a couple of the characters that we might end up meeting could end up turning into mutants or already being mutants, but nothing said about it or something along those lines.
Right.
And I think what'll happen is they'll have the mutant, like just before the mutant movie, whatever comes before that, I'd say there'll be some crazy tie into it, and the mutant gene will become public knowledge. I think they've been around the whole time. That's what that story will be sold as. I think it's going to be like, Professor X has, because the way he can see using Cerebro, he can kind of split the mutants from the humans. I wouldn't be surprised if he's using his powers to block off all the mutants, or like somehow like casting a spell over humanity so that none of us actually know who they are. And I think that they'll just actually be there, and it'll just be kind of the curtain will open, and I just think it'll go from there. To be honest, that's the way I see it coming. I don't think there's going to be some wild event and then it's why all this history. I just don't think that they have anything to do with Endgame. Like, as in,
I mean, the whole world has something to do. You don't think Professor X has Endgame? Like, he knows what's going on with Thanos, and he does hey, I have Storm who can control the fucking weather. Maybe I should send her to help him out.
No. They don't know me yet. No.
I think it's more so a multiverse thing where it's gonna merge two realities into one, and then we're all gonna come to live in the same existence. I think that's how it's gonna happen. So
but the main problem I have with this is that I don't think they have locked up Elizabeth Olsen for 10 years for this role, because I think this would have to be spanning over at least 7-8 years, and I don't.
I've never heard what her contract is. Usually, I know it was quite public knowledge that when Chris Evans signed on, it was a 7-movie deal, and that was going to lock him in for 10 years, and he was terrified to do it, but said fuck it, And I've never heard what hers was, because she's been around for a while already. She was in, I think it's 2015 she made her debut. Was it 20?
Age of Ultron is
2014 or 13, I think. It's it's a long time ago. She's been in the MCU for movies, right? Yeah, she's been around the MCU for 7 years already. So,
right.
I presume she's probably quite happy to stay in the role. I don't think I've seen her in anything else. Have I? I haven't seen her in anything else.
But I mean,
apart from thing, I'm curious now. I'm actually going to look it up. What else has she done?
I think she would like to try something else in a 5-6 years timeline, and I don't see how they could fit in a full-on House of M storyline with her contract.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just looking on her page here, her profile. She's most known for something called Martha in 2011. That's her
Not most known for that.
This is what her highest ranked, most known for on IMDb is before in Avengers is actually this Martha movie. It's number 1 in the list. So you've got Martha, then all of her MCU stuff, and then she was in a TV show called Sorry for Your Loss.
That was a good one.
I didn't see that one, but she was in that, and she's done a couple of animations, I think, and she's actually been in a lot of stuff. I just haven't seen any of it.
I mean, she's a big family name.
Of course, yeah. I think Ultron was 2015. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of forget the timelines sometimes. I think I was only talking about this when I was rewatching the MCU. It was we were so spoiled back then. We had so much going on. It was Ultron, then Civil War and Spider-Man and Black Panther. All that was in the space of 2 years. It was just boom, 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 blockbuster. It was just insane. And it's just, after 2020 of being nothing, I think we're just in a bit of a different vibe right now.
Yeah, and I think they have a plan of taking a break after Endgame, just taking a little breathing.
It makes sense to, again, why they jumped forward in time. I always kind of thought this when it happened at first. I was it's 2019. Why are they jumping forward to 2023? And then it kind of makes sense that they're taking a big production break in real life from all the blockbusters. And then by the time the madness starts again, I think it's going to be 2023. So it makes sense, Same.
They have some break now to introduce some new characters, to get some creativity freedom, to play with theories and thoughts and whatever.
Yeah, I think she was a kid actor as well, and obviously her sisters are the Olsen twins. So
at a better timing for Marvel than at this time, really.
True. what was I watching? Oh, when I was watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier today, I actually I said to my girlfriend, I was like, imagine being blipped in real, like in our life, and you would have just skipped COVID and just come back in 2023. And we're like, yeah, what was that like, guys? Oh, that's so funny. I thought that was hilarious.
This is why I was just saying earlier, with the Fantastic Four versus Mutant, like we're gonna get one of those kind of sooner.
Yeah.
And then the other one's gonna be a couple years like down the road, and then like I just, I think if you ask Marvel, if they say they can wait to do the Mutants right, or they can wait to do House of M, or they can do House of M now. I mean, they don't care about House of M. They're like whatever.
Like, you got your hoodie. Let's go. Put something on the Discord, will you?
Stories we want to tell, and we don't have to tell House of M. We don't have to tell that story. We don't care.
No, they don't have to. They don't have to. But still, it's one of the most famous stories and one of the most intriguing ones. But it would be so Marvel or MCU, so to say.
Thank you, Limey. I'll check it out.
Like, hint at it and then just go completely other way, just to pull the carpet.
Well, that director, Jacques, whatever, the showrunner for WandaVision, didn't really read the comic books and doesn't really know how important the House of M is. They didn't know who Mephisto was until the show had begun. Like, how insane is that? Like, Jesus Christ, we have more knowledge and we're just sitting here talking shit on Twitch, like, Right.
How could you be involved in that in a professional capacity and not do your homework? Like, I find that to be absolutely fascinating.
This is why I think we're going to see the MCU being diluted a little bit. Up until this point, it's pretty much been composed of just straight comic book nerds. People who have been wanting to make Marvel movies their entire life and make superhero movies their entire life. And there hasn't been enough projects for those directors, and that's why they can find really good directors. But as they start making more TV shows, they start expanding the universe, and they start, making all these new characters, you're going to have to get to a point where you're not going to have people who are comic book fans and nerds making stuff. Like the people who ran WandaVision, the director, she didn't really know comic books ins and outs. She really didn't know these characters like that, and she ends up making these missteps that tease the fans because she just thinks it's fun to say, oh, that's like a reference to this thing, but she doesn't realize what that thing really is. Oh, Mephisto, I recognize that name, that'll be fun, just throw that in there. But she doesn't realize the fans are like, fucking Mephisto. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a watering down of people who are real fans of Marvel and from the comic book perspective, and they're just fans of the MCU. And they
Tara, thank you so much for contributing to the boost. Let's go. We're halfway there. Yeah, I agree. It's as a nerd myself, like I'm very curious to see like the path that they take. Like obviously, you find out that the likes of Civil War is happening, and then you just know it can't be the same. It can't be the same as the comic book because they just don't have access to all these characters, So it's just like, it's like, how do they do it? And I think the interesting thing for me is to know now that in the future, like in 10 years, a lot of the comic books now, they can actually just portray them so much more easily and so much more accurately to the comics. And I don't know if that is a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's easier wins for Marvel. Like, you know what I mean? You come in and you do Civil War 2 and you just copy the comic book. There's your script. It's already done. You just replace it with longer fight scenes and dialogue in the middle, but your script is pretty much done.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Spider-Man instead of Tony Stark as like the main person,
Yeah, like I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's
I think it's a good thing that it isn't us comic book nerds that are writing the movies and the series. Because we would eat each other up completely if we were to write it. They at least can have some kind of commercial side to it that will also attract new watchers, that will gain them more money and will gain them more viewers and will gain them more ability to make further adaptations and so on. So I think it's good that they are watching it with other eyes than just us who just want to throw Mephisto and House of M and X-Men and Fantastic Four into everything.
Sure.
I still think we might get Mephisto and Loki.
I think so too. Yeah. And I will love it.
Yeah, I think that's coming.
I'm not putting an opinion on that. I'm completely neutral on Mephisto at this point in my life.
Owen Wilson is Mephisto. I'll put it out there.
I mean, he is a big actor to come into a TV show like that. He's a huge actor.
Huge actor, and I think he needs a huge role. I don't think, you don't bring someone like that in unless they are someone big. Like, I don't know, like, well, maybe they brought, like, Martin Freeman in, I suppose, and his character was kind of just like, yeah, he's just like a kind of random cop, like he was kind of cool and all, but I suppose maybe, I don't know. Maybe they do that.
I don't think Martin Freeman and Owen Wilson are on the same level.
I don't know.
That's me.
Yeah, probably not. Like, Owen Wilson's definitely done a lot more, but, like, Martin Freeman's done some really fucking good stuff, and he's a very, very high tier actor in my opinion.
Bottle rocket, bro. Come on, you can't bottle rocket.
True. Yeah. I don't know. I'm looking forward to anyway seeing just where it goes, like where Falcon goes. Like, we've obviously got, like, even I was thinking today after watching, like, that episode was nearly an hour long, which I was just like, yes, this is great.
Yeah.
And even to think, like, what we've seen so far is probably the length of a movie, like of a Marvel movie. It's about 2.5 hours. So yeah. I'm kind of thinking, like, we have, like, that you could call that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the movie part 1, and then, we still have this probably the same amount of content again to go. So it'll be interesting to see what else we're going to get.
Yeah. True. I'm ready.
Kijin says he would rather have the comic writers do the movie scripts, not fans.
I definitely not fans. Fans are terrible, horrible ideas.
Yeah,
fans.
I like some, like, like some things the fans definitely do right. Like, I think the whole casting of Ahsoka in Mandalorian, like, that was all 100% the fans did that, and I think that was perfect. I like Joe Magliano as Deathstroke. I thought that was another incredible casting from the fans.
Right.
I think a lot of fans, like, again, like, and I think WandaVision was a perfect kind of showcase of this, that the fans wrote a better show than the writers did. Like, every piece of, like, theory that I read about that show was better than what we got.
Absolutely.
Tenfold. Yeah. But yeah, like, where do you draw the line? Like, I agree. Like, you can't just.
You also don't know what, like, the bigger picture is, right? Like,
of course
they know.
Yeah, they know.
So it's like, like, maybe WandaVision makes way more sense in a year or two than it does now.
Yeah,
but you're right. Like, the fans, like, all the stuff was, like, way fucking better.
Yeah, so much better. Like, Reed Richards coming in would have just made a lot of sense. He's the astrophysicist and all this stuff. And, like, I'm still annoyed about the Jimmy Woo thing where he called that person, "Can you be here in 45 minutes?" I'm like, here comes Strange. I was like, it's fucking happening. And then nothing happened. And I think that's down to them cutting an episode. I think maybe he was meant to be there and he just wasn't, and they had to just cut it.
I think you misread that scene. I gotta be honest.
Why has that?
Because because the guy said, who was the bad guy from WandaVision? The dude who ran Shield, Sword.
Hawthorne.
He put out there like 40 minutes, right? He's like, we can do that. Like, we're gonna get this done. We got 40 minutes to do this. And then the FBI agent was like, hey, yeah, we can have the FBI here faster than that. And so that's why he was like a joke, like, hey, can you get here in like 40 minutes? Because I already told this guy, and we were gonna catch him in like 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah. So you think it was him just talking to nobody on the phone, just ripping the piss? Like
I think it was on just the FBI.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, the joke was, hey, I already told this guy we're gonna catch him in 40 minutes. You have to get here. Can you get here in 40 minutes? Because I kind of already said this.
Kijin also asked in the chat there, who do we think is the power broker?
Oh, power broker.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm surprised we didn't see him that episode.
Same.
Because it seems like if you're setting up like a bigger villain you'd see him by the halfway point in the show.
Yeah.
Maybe the power broker is the Thunderbolt dude from the Hulk movies.
Yeah. Because I know he has a role to play in Black Widow. And I think, again, the Black Widow story, I think, is going to be wrapped around whatever that serum is that they have as well. And he was involved in Bruce Banner's creation, and his whole storyline has been serums. So yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Something happens in Black Widow, he kind of becomes an enemy of the state or something like that, and then he becomes the power broker. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, General Ross. Yeah,
I think it might be Sharon who's the power broker.
Oh, that's a cheeky prediction. I like that one
because she did have that car with the person at the end.
Yeah, like she seems very powerful in the time that she's been there. Yeah, that does make sense. And then
interesting. I like that idea.
Yeah, I like it too. Jesus, you might have cracked the case there.
Spoilers, everyone.
Yeah. Hey, we got spoilers in the title. We're good.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're safe.
Yeah, because she kind of had her helper just kind of show up out of nowhere, didn't she?
Yep. And she could pull strings. She had this amazing apartment just for a few years, and yeah.
She's jaded. The whole world's sham now. She's a little jaded.
Oh, she's angry, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, like she's like, where they're like, oh, why don't you come back to the States? And she's kind of doesn't really want to go back. And then it's like, okay, I need to make a deal with you or whatever, So I really think it's, you could be right. It could be her.
I'm down with that. Because, then they wouldn't have to introduce any new characters into the show. Like, that's the thing. Introducing characters, it gets messy.
Circa just wrote in my chat, he goes, laughing my ass off. He's like, I typed Sharon Carter into Google and it auto-filled the power broker.
Damn.
I didn't see that coming at all, to be honest.
Huh?
And now that you say it, it does. It makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
I think Andrew's Googled this. He's the one that started the Google trend.
I am.
He just wanted to look good right now. It has no sense at all. He just
Brilliant. Okay,
that's cool. Yeah, that makes more sense than what I did.
Yeah.
What I said.
I love it all, bro. So I want different timeline versions. Just give us all of our theories, like put them all out there. Give us multiple choice, please.
Yeah. Also, like, for like having the show be the Falcon and Winter Soldier, having an episode where Sam doesn't have his wings at all, like, really shows
Sam and the Winter Soldier.
Just kind of dumb of a character Falcon is right now. Like, just a
bro,
little...
like, and I hope I don't get hate for this, but I have never liked Sam. Ever. Never liked him.
I don't like his beard. I don't like
his beard.
All right, here we go.
Freaks me out, bro. It freaks me out.
Bad takes from Pinto on your left.
I've never seen him. He's always been a filler character to me. I've never seen the appeal. I've always thought that he's lived in Steve's ass, and I think Rhodey lives in Tony's ass. Like, I just think they're just two yes men, and like Sam even says it, I think, in one of the movies. It's like, where you go, I go. When you get shot at, I usually get shot at too. And it's like, well, that's what happens when you live up somebody's ass. You're gonna get shot at as well,
Or if you're a good friend, Fento, okay. If you're there for someone in dangerous moments.
I just have never thought of him as a great character, and
he has to have a huge moment in this series. He has to have a moment that separates him from the Winter Soldier, where the Winter Soldier operates more gray, and he is like right from wrong, because that's Steve. It's like down in the moment, he does what he thinks is right and like is the thing that you need to do, and he breaks with people because of that.
Yeah.
And so I think Sam has to have a moment there where he stops going along with the Winter Soldier. He's like, no, like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
Like, that's a line too far. And maybe they fight and maybe they separate and they're not buddies anymore. But he has to put his foot down somewhere to really step in. Like, he needs a foot down somewhere to step into the mantle of Captain America and really be that character.
100%.
I think his comic book powers.
I think because in the comics, again, I only read Civil War again, and like in the comic books, like Falcon in the comic books that's during Civil War is a fucking badass. Like, he is beating people up left and right. He's an absolute. He needs powers, and I think that's the thing. And again, I don't know how I feel. Maybe I'll like him more as a character if he's throwing around people. Like, I just love watching Bucky just like absolutely obliterate people. Like, I'm like, this is superhero TV to me. And I just think, like, Sam, and it's just been proven, like, if he doesn't have the wings, he can't do anything. He can point a gun at somebody.
Right.
That's about it. Like, he can't do anything. Kijin just said in my chat there, he's like, I googled, and the power broker in the comics is the one to give US Agent his powers, and US Agent is John Walker. So I think that's what happens. I've said that from the start. I think broker or like
Sharon.
I don't know if Sharon. I don't know if John Walker is given it or if he's injected with it against his will, but he will get it somehow. And then I think what happens there is Sam is forced to take it to beat him.
Yeah.
I feel like Sam's gonna get hurt really bad, and he has to take the serum.
Maybe, maybe the serum saves his life.
And then he can talk to birds after that.
Yeah, exactly, dude, exactly.
I love the scene where he gets Captain America or John Walker gets his face spat in. And like he kind of like, do you know who I am? Like him saying that one line was such good writing. That's better than like 98% of the writing in the show, because it really shows where he is emotionally, how much he doesn't feel like anyone respects him, and it shows how much room he's willing to give up because he wants to get to that where people respect him.
Yeah.
Like if you're not gonna respect him, well, I'm gonna get this done. Like I'm gonna bend the rules.
Yeah.
You know, like he just there's such a hole there now for him to fill emotionally. Like I love it, man.
Yeah.
Like that was such a good scene.
Yeah,
I think
big time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Marvel actually they kind of let one of the secrets slip as well. With someone leaked photos of some of the merch that's coming out for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and they have a John Walker toy, and he's referenced in it as U.S. agent. So the U.S. agent thing is happening. So I think that's, you know, maybe the serum. Because isn't it they always kind of say that the serum makes the man, and you know, when Red Skull got it, he was just an evil bastard, and when he took it, he became the Red Skull. Steve takes it and he becomes, you know, he's the best human that there is, and he becomes the super soldier. He is the set example. So I think maybe what might happen is, you know, John Walker takes it. He's not exactly the most moral person ever, so maybe he takes it and, you know, it doesn't agree with him fully, but then Sam takes it and he's a good man, as Steve says. Like there's that photo, I don't know if you saw it, I put it on Discord. It's like, you know, the Doctor talking to Steve, and it's like, you know, don't be a hero, just be a good man. And then the last thing that Steve says to Sam before he actually goes into the time machine is, Sam, you're a good man. And it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, again, the whole poetry in the writing, like, so that's
absolutely because it amplifies everything in you.
Exactly, yeah. So, and I think John Walker's a sketchy character. He's kind of the anti-Steve, and I think a super anti-Steve needs a good Sam. Like it needs a magnified Sam. So I honestly, I'd be shocked if by the end of the show we don't have Sam with powers. I think he needs it. Like if he's going to be on the same par as the Winter Soldier, he needs to have powers. He really does. Like 100%.
And he will talk birds. That's the thing I want. That for Red Wing to be a real eagle.
Why?
Because that's in the comics. Red Wing is
terrible.
Red Wing's been destroyed. I think Red Wing is just stupid. Like in this day and age, you know, you're obviously like, and it just happened to him. Like his drone gets hacked, and John Walker's listening to all of his conversations. Like, you know what I mean? I think having something like that is just a crutch. Like when you're living the life that he's living.
Do we think that's why Sharon did not go into the container? Like, or
Limey, thank you for
because she's the power broker. And
yeah, I think you're right. They knew it was going to get blown up. She knew it was going to get blown up, so she's like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
And well, she also knew that Nigel would recognize.
Idea,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, big time. I think you're.
Does all make sense?
I think you're 100% with that. Yeah. I'm just like, you know, I think we're right in what we're saying, you know, that there's like 12 vials of this serum left in creation now that, like, you know, the scientist is dead, and I think Sam and Walker both get one. I love that he's from Texas and they called him John Walker.
Is he from Texas?
Yeah. Like the character in the comics, he's like, you know, Steve is the you know, the fucking north, like, or like, you know, east side guy, and then the southern guy is John Walker. He's just like the southern fucking take on Steve Rogers. Like that was when they were writing the character, they said they wanted to kind of just bounce, you know, do the classic comic thing where it's like, you know, you just put him as the polar opposite of Steve Rogers, like, and then he's his villain, like.
But oh no. Oh yeah. The high school was based in Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah, because GA, that's Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was his college though, was it? I don't think that was his high school. I think that was college, maybe. I'm not too sure. I might be wrong, but I know maybe they've changed the story in this, but I know in the comic books, because I was doing my research on John Walker, and the character is from Texas originally. Like he's the southern version of
the school that they were in. That was Georgia, at least, because it's something GA.
Well, they could have brought the band from anywhere too, right? And just been like, here you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw in a breakdown as well, the music that they were playing was like a kind of the same music, just kind of remixed of the original Captain music when he went on the the publicity tours when he first got his powers and stuff. I thought that was a nice kind of touch.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also hurt as well. So I'm just like, no, Steve, I love you, Steve. I miss Steve. I do. I miss him a lot.
They're so smart the way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Because they're making us hate the guy who has the shield now. So when Falcon gets the shield again, you're like, thank God. Yeah. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we know him. Yeah. We know him, so we like him.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't like that Falcon got the shield. I think Finto being one of them. You're like, I wish Bucky would have had the shield.
Yeah.
But now Falcon gets the shield back. You're going to be like, oh, well, at least this fucker doesn't have it. At least John Walker doesn't have it.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think of Bucky? Bucky like wants to really destroy it. That seems to be what he's trying to do.
Does he want to destroy it?
Yeah, he said we should just we should steal it back, and then he says to Sam we should destroy it.
I miss that he said that.
He did.
I think he does not want a greater cause for destroying it. He does not want no one to have the weapon or the shield or anything. I don't think he wants anyone else to have that icon of his best friend Steve.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if Sam doesn't have it as Steve's last wish, I think the main thing is Bucky's like, let's destroy it. No one should have it then.
Right. Okay, so the Power Broker's been around for a while then, right?
Yeah.
If Zemo knows her, so how would it be Sharon then, right?
Maybe it's like a mantle that gets passed down, sort of thing. Like it's not like just one person. She
killed the Power Broker.
It's an idea. Yeah. It's like it's an idea. It's not a person. Do we think Bucky will be in Black Panther 2? Yeah. I don't see why not. I think that would really help develop Bucky's character. I'd like to see him more as the White Wolf. That was a big storyline in the comics as well. And I think there's definitely story to be told there of his kind of recovery and what he's doing in Wakanda, especially now that they've brought the Wakandans into this as well. I think it just ties it up beautifully.
There's got to be a show we don't know about or a movie that's not announced. Because like after Falcon and Winter Soldier, like where do these characters go? Like they're just gonna be gone for 2 years. There's no way. Or like 3. Like we're missing something on the timeline. They're not telling us.
I think we're gonna end this this series with Sam being back in what is it, Missouri or
back in Alabama or no, Louisiana. He's in Louisiana.
Yeah, Louisiana. Yeah. With his sister, and I think Buck is gonna go back to Wakanda.
And so this is like the last we heard from Sam till what, Black Panther 2 maybe? He shows up a little bit?
I think characters like Sam, they just have again, I know they've got their own show here, but I think in the movie world they're very much kind of second and third class characters. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Sam showing up in Spider-Man 3, kind of like a role like Happy would have, where he just kind of show up and we might be hanging out in Avengers Tower and or whatever, on the compound. I think I think he has a really good,
just like War Machine in this series.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think
there. Period.
I think Sam has a really good relationship with Ant-Man as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up in Ant-Man 3 too. So
sure.
And then he's around for the whole fucking creation of the Fantastic Four as well. I think and then again they're secondary or C-class characters that just kind of are in the movies. I definitely see that happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they're trying to bump them up higher than that. The same way they're making Wanda huge.
Yeah.
And big.
Well, maybe something Doctor Strange 2 could be a fucking Endgame style movie. We just don't know it yet.
True.
Could Could be.
Like, I think if there's another movie that's gonna be on that scale, I think it is Doctor Strange 2, like the multiverse of madness. I think this is the one where it's like, oh god, we're about to break reality, we need to get everybody involved, and then everybody comes into it, you know. I definitely see that being the kind of the pillar of this phase. And then that kind of breaks open into the next phase. Keegan, thank you for the lurk, my dude.
I see it.
Yeah, definitely. What was I thinking about today? I was thinking about something as well. What was it? Oh my god, has it just left my head? Oh my god, I had something to say there. I can't remember it now. I hate when that happens.
We're boomers now.
I feel like Spider-Man is going to set up many big movies. This could be Doctor Strange. I think like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange in the next coming movies are going to have a lot to do with each other. Like 100%. The two of them are going to be trying to solve each other's shit like big time. I think.
I don't know. I think Spider-Man and Doctor Strange is like the new Cap and Iron Man.
Yeah.
Of the next phase of this.
Yeah, I think so. I think the two of them are going to be like popping into each other's movies and helping each other out, and I think Doctor Strange 2 is the end game of Phase 4 or Phase 4 now? Phase 4, right?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I think it's Phase 4.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch is the one they really want to like focus and like.
As manner, yeah, Spider-Man was always my favorite as a kid too.
The whole thing, right?
I remember what I was going to say. So you know in what movie was it? Was it Captain Marvel where Fury goes up to space and then the Skrull takes over? So for a while it actually hasn't been Nick Fury on Earth. I wonder, does Nick Fury know, because he hasn't been on Earth in years, does he know that Cap is gone? Does he know that Tony Stark is dead? Like, there's a lot that's happened on Earth since he's been gone. I presume he's getting reports back and stuff, but he himself hasn't been on Earth. It's kind of crazy when you think about it.
Was it Captain Marvel? Wasn't that that funeral scene in the end? Was that Captain Marvel?
That was Endgame, right?
Endgame, yeah, but...
No, not that funeral scene, but there's another funeral scene, isn't it? Where they had the cemetery, and he's like, maybe it's that Captain Marvel?
I don't know.
I actually don't know either. I just know that he hasn't been on Earth in a long time. The Skrulls have been in their place, like Maria Hill and Fury himself. They have actually not been on Earth. They've been in space for years. Like, I think they've literally missed the entire Thanos like event and everything. Like, I don't think they've been around for any of it. Like, I wouldn't be. I think there's something like, I think he hasn't actually been on Earth. I think they again, the nerds breaking it all down. There's a line that Fury says that he can't eat sandwiches if they're cut a certain way, and then there's a scene from Ultron where he's eating it and it's cut the way that he says his brain just can't take it. So it's like, shit, that's actually a Skrull, that's not Fury, like, this entire time. Like, so it's like Fury hasn't been on Earth in a long time, so he's missed out on everything. Like,
I would say it's more he jumps in and out than he hasn't been there.
Fury didn't blip. Someone said in my chat, did Fury blip? He didn't actually blip. It was the Skrull who blipped. It wasn't actually Fury.
Fury didn't blip?
No. Fury. Well, maybe he blipped. It hit the real one. The real version of him blipped somewhere in the universe, but he wasn't on Earth. That version of him and Maria is not. That's the Skrull. They're the Skrulls.
I don't believe that.
Look it up, bro.
I don't believe it.
Look it up.
I will not be part of this MCU.
I'm telling you. I think Fury's been in space a long time.
Now, according to John Watts, the director of Far From Home, he believes that Fury himself was present at Tony Stark's funeral in Endgame.
I think, that would probably make sense. If you're going to come back for something, it would be for that. But I don't think it's the Skrull, like for a long time. Like,
why would he come back in the first place if he wasn't, like, if he really didn't have a personal connection to Tony Stark? Why would he come back for it if he was in outer space when all this was going on?
I think he does have a personal connection to Tony, though.
But you're saying he was in outer space during Iron Man?
During, like, Endgame and stuff, I think he was, yeah. But maybe he came back for the actual funeral itself at the end. But I don't think he was involved.
Yep. But you're saying, like, way back, like, before Endgame, like, Iron Man 1,
No, I think it's like from. I think they're saying it's like from, say, Avengers 2, like around the Ultron time.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. The nerds might be looking into it a little too much.
Maybe.
I appreciate it, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of that. You know, it hasn't been him the entire time. Why did?
Like, do we know how Mephisto likes his sandwiches cut? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Diagonally. It's Mephisto all the time.
Yeah, it's Mephisto. It's Mephisto.
Like, the vibe I got is, after Thanos, that's when Fury goes to space. He's like, we need to be in space because of people like Thanos. Like, he gets blipped, he comes back, then he's like, dude, we need to be in space more. I need to be in space more. This isn't a joke.
Space is cool.
Yeah.
Like, he knows about stuff going on in space, and like he might be involved a little bit because of Captain Marvel, but after Thanos happened, he goes, I need to be in space. I can't be on Earth for this anymore because the problems are out there, not here.
Imagine the Skrull blipped, but the real Fury didn't, and the real Fury was around for the 5 years, but he was in space. That would kind of make sense.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
Earth thinks that Fury's dead, but he's not. He's actually in space, and he's working with Captain Marvel in space. And then I'd say maybe the Secret Invasion show. I presume the Secret Invasion show is going to have a lot of Fury in it.
Yeah. This could get bad, really quick. This could get terrible really quickly.
I don't think they have the ability to fail, even after WandaVision. Like, I think WandaVision was probably
even after WandaVision.
I think WandaVision was if any other if DC made WandaVision, it would have been a fucking flop. Like, exact same show just brought out by DC, it would have been a flop. I just think that the MCU is bulletproof. I really do. I think that they can't fail. Even like Thor 2, awful movie, but it was still good. You know, like Captain Marvel, terrible movie, but you'll still watch it. You know, I just don't think that they can fail.
I mean,
I feel like they are more failable now than ever. Now that they're done with Iron Man, now that they're done with Captain America, I feel like they're on a high wire act. Yeah. Like, I think they're in a very precarious position now.
I think maybe like the threat is a lot more, but I think with everything that we're hearing, all the plans that they have, I think, and I never thought that this would be possible. Like after Endgame, I just thought there's no way that we can beat this. This is the best fucking superhero shit that we could ever experience. Yeah. And now I genuinely think that with how powerful that they are, I think that they can top it. I do. I think that Doctor Strange 2, Spider-Verse, I think stuff like this could top Endgame. I really do.
I don't think that at all.
I really do.
That's bold.
I do. X-Men, Fantastic Four, all these done right under Marvel. I just think it has the power to be better than Endgame. I really do. I genuinely thought that we would never get better than Endgame, but now I do. I feel it. I think we can do it.
I mean, I know the start of the MCU. I feel like we reset the MCU after Endgame, right? So to speak.
Right, as well.
And like the start of the MCU with Iron Man, with Captain America, with Thor, those were like bangers. And so far, after this reset, Spider-Man Far From Home, not that great. Doesn't really endear Spider-Man to me the same way Iron Man was endeared to me. WandaVision, kind of flat for me. Didn't really make me feel good about WandaVision with flat. Don't even start with me, bro. The same way like Captain America did. You know, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's not landing for me the same way Thor did. Like they created characters in those first couple of movies that you really cared about, and it paid off. It paid off in Endgame, where like I got emotional seeing Captain like strap up for the last time and be like, Avengers, and they just don't have that right now. They don't have anyone that has the. And I'm saying like we're starting off after this reset, and they don't have anyone there, and like who's coming up that's going to do that? Shang-Chi? No. The Eternals? No fucking way.
Spider-Man, Doctor Strange. I think they open up the fucking multiverse, and in opening up the multiverse, and I don't know if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but even opening the multiverse, they have the opportunities to bring back fucking Tony and bring back Steve.
That's cheap, though. That's cheap.
I don't think you're gonna see Robert Downey Jr. as a main character anymore.
I think he has expressed interest to come back, and I think that
maybe as a cameo, maybe as a support role in some way.
Yeah,
but I think he comes back as like a Jarvis character where like his voice is there, you know.
That'd be cool. I'd like that.
Yeah, that would be like Ironheart, whatever. If he voices like something like that, you know.
My lady says in the chat, can't top the silence in the cinema at the end of Infinity War when they turned to dust. No, that was incredible, but I just, oh man, like there's so many great characters coming up that are just fan favorites, are just like comic favorites, and I just want to see how Kevin Feige just brings it all to life, and I just think it really has the promise to be better than what we've previously seen.
Well, one thing they do have is that after Infinity War, I think Kevin Feige and all of his crew has more creativity freedom than ever before. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
With Disney and Marvel backing them.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like the budgets are endless. Kevin Feige has made the company tens of billions of dollars. So it's like, this guy, do what you want. And I think, again, I don't think he fails with anything that he's going to do. And I genuinely think that in a couple of years, we're going to look back on it and I will never take any of the magic away from phase 1 and 2 and 3. Like the magic of like the Infinity Stone saga or whatever you want to call it. It was obviously incredible. But I just think they have so much freedom now to do the unthinkable that was in the comic books. Like you've got House of M, you've got Civil War 2, you've got all this stuff that can be just done at an epic scale with all of the characters. Like could you imagine like Wolverine standing beside Thor or like Captain America, like, or whatever? Like it's all possible now. Like it's fucking nuts. Like you do like yeah, well he was, I mean, do you know there's actually a still of him in Endgame? He was in the lineup. It's so good.
And a lot of it to me it doesn't come down to just seeing Wolverine. It's like who plays Wolverine. You know, when you have Captain America, Chris Evans is a character who carried that character, right?
Yeah.
The charisma. Robert Downey Jr. obviously a unique, singular figure.
Oh yes.
The people that they have in the MCU right now, Tom Holland's not that. Brie Larson can't bring that.
I love Tom Holland. I love Tom Holland. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think Tom Holland is a great Peter Parker. I think he's a great Spider-Man. I don't think the only person, and I don't know, like I like Brie Larson, but I think she's like probably one of the weakest castings that they've had, and she's still good though. Marvel. I think I have full trust in them. Whoever they hire to play these characters. And like again, it's just all on what we've seen so far. I think it's just the proof's in the pudding, as they say. It's just like they've just constantly just brought amazing characters in, and they can obviously just go to Hollywood and pick out the best the best actors and best actresses on the planet, and they'll all just come floating in. Like Keanu Reeves, we'll probably get Keanu Reeves. Like we have to at some point. He has to have a role somewhere along the line. Yeah. I really think so.
I think he'll get a villain role for one movie.
I'd love that. I'd love to see him as a villain. I think it would be incredible.
I just think that the MCU is they are fully capable of failing. They are fully capable, and I think now without their big franchises, and now that they're so established, that if they miss, it's a way bigger hit. Like Thor: The Dark World wasn't that great, but if Thor: Dark World comes out, if Ragnarok would have been as terrible as Thor and the Dark World or whatever, like that could have been a huge catastrophe for the MCU and the character Thor.
Yeah, big time.
If they made another Iron Man 3 now, that's a huge misstep.
Yeah.
For the characters, and I think because they're so big and everything is so built up, and they did it feels like a mess. When I look at the movies that are being slated to come out, everything feels like a mess. Versus if you look at the old ones, like you had Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, Captain America 1, Captain America 2. And now it's just a whole bunch of like different things strung together instead of really building up, characters, building up a character that you're going to love.
It's in the chat it was just said like they're in a character building phase, and it's true. Like it's very much so like a hockey team trying to bring a new team of like young players up. Like this is what's happening.
That's why we're gonna wait until 2026 before we get the next climax.
It probably, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I just, there's a lot of characters that are there now still, and I love them. You know, like Doctor Strange is probably one of the best MCU characters to be still around from the Infinity Wars or whatever you want to call it. And you know, Benedict Cumberbatch is such an incredible actor. Again, perfect for that role. I cannot picture anybody else playing Stephen Strange.
Right.
I think.
What would you bring back the yellow gloves?
What would you say? What would you say to this? So they open up the multiverse, and let's say, for example, there's been rumors going around that Doctor Strange jumps into Logan's timeline. What if, would you be?
I'm walking out of the movie theater.
Would you be happy or pissed off? Let's say, for example, they do the unthinkable and they throw €50 million or dollars at Hugh Jackman and say, sign on for 5 films. Are you in or out?
I'm in. 5 films with Hugh Jackman.
Let's say Hugh Jackman's in the MCU for the next 10 years. Like, do you watch it? Like, do you love it? Is that the goal?
I'll watch it. I'll probably end up loving it. But I'm like, we've seen Hugh Jackman play Wolverine. He's good. Logan was a great send-off to the character. I wouldn't mind him coming back in like a Deadpool role. But like, there's people who can play Wolverine other than Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
And like, I want to see someone else in the role. I want to see someone who's more savage than Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is a very neat and clean Wolverine. I want to see someone who gets down in the motherfucking dirt as Wolverine.
Yeah.
Who's short as fuck and like just
yeah.
Like, I want to see someone who's like fucking raging as Wolverine. And like, he's just he's a clean Wolverine. Like, I want to see someone who's like ugly, dude. You know, he's too cute to be Wolverine. Damn it! I need someone who can't get a girl. That's why I'm so pissed off or something. We need something.
Trunky.
I'd play Wolverine in a heartbeat.
Guy that played Punisher would have been a great Wolverine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great Wolverine.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Fuck the Punisher. Fuck the Punisher show. Just bring him in. Bring him in as Wolverine.
The dude from Kingsman. What's his name?
Yeah.
Tegan, whatever his name is. He's the fan favorite, and I think he would be a good one. Yeah, because he's got the right build. He's short. Like, put some facial hair on him, get him jacked, and I think you just have him in there just fucking shit up. Like,
might be a bit too young though.
What do you think of who plays the likes of Magneto and all that sort of thing? Like, I hate to think of I love Michael Fassbender, and I like obviously Patrick Stewart couldn't take on the role for long as Professor X, but you know, I'd still Multiverse of Madness. I'd love to see him show up, and maybe Ian McKellen and stuff like that. Like, it'd be crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think those people are out there. You know, I think all these roles are definitely castable. I don't know who.
Do we like the Avengers? Yes, of course we do. How are you, Small?
Hey, let's cast Captain America. Chris Evans was not
Wolverine. Let's
by
go.
Anybody to play Captain America. You know what I mean?
No.
So I think they're out there, and I think Marvel does a really great job at finding these people for sure. You know, I would like to see Michael Fassbender because he is such a good Magneto.
Yeah.
I don't think the guy who played Xavier was all that great.
James McAvoy. He wasn't really good. I think he kind of fell into the role a little bit more towards the end, but it was a lot more of a building process for him, whereas Michael Fassbender he arrived in straight away and you just loved him from the start. Like that scene in, I can't remember, is it Days of Future Past or the one before it, where like he's in the woods and, you know, he's like kind of gone into hiding and he's got his family and stuff like that. Like,
right,
those were like gripping scenes. That was like incredible. Like, I love that. Like that was just some of the best like superhero stuff out there. Like, and I just think, like, you know, I think having the door open just to bring some characters back and then replace others, I think it's messy as fuck, but I just think it would be, for me, it would be what I'd love to see the most. Like, I'd love to see Michael Fassbender somehow retain his role, but then they, you know, give us a new Wolverine, give us a new Storm, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know how they do. Does Doctor Strange just start picking people out of the multiverse or something like that? Like, that would be great to see, but it's messy as fuck. Like,
right.
Yo, Even, what's up, dude? How are you? How's your day?
Yeah, I mean, it's there. It's just, you know, I don't know. Hugh Jackman, I've loved him as Wolverine. I grew up with him as Wolverine. Yeah. I'm good. You know?
I feel the same, but at the same time, it would just be so good to have him back as well. Like, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I'm 50. I love him so much. Like I'm 50-50 on. Him as a human, Hugh Jackman himself. I don't think he can do 10 more years of getting that jacked. Like I think he becomes like an old man Logan, and like you know he's in big jackets and stuff, and he doesn't have to train like a fucking madman and destroy himself with steroids and stuff. But I think, you know, I'd love to still see him there.
Yeah.
Jackman, like, just man now, ain't so jacked man.
He's only 52 though.
Yeah, but like, come on, like in Days of Future,
a young 52.
In Days of Future Past, like that fucking training for that movie nearly killed him. Like, you know, like he was so fucking jacked in that film, it was insane. And like, he just can't do that anymore. And the only way to do that at his age is to fucking pump yourself full of every fucking steroid on the planet. And you know, are you prepared to die for a role? I don't think he is.
He just wants to do the theater, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He loves singing. He likes dancing. I would be shocked if I don't see him in some capacity in the future, back as Logan, whether it's in Deadpool 3 and they're breaking the fourth wall everywhere.
He should be in Deadpool 3.
Yeah,
he should be in Deadpool 3.
Yeah, I think so too. Or even if it's just Hugh Jackman showing up, like not Wolverine, like, you know, just bring Hugh Jackman in, like, you know. I just think that'd be fucking brilliant. Because like, another way, in the first Deadpool movie, like he staples like Hugh Jackman's face to his face, and it's just like, you know, Hugh Jackman is there in that world, like, you know, so there's nothing stopping him. And I think that would be incredible, and I think that would probably satisfy my need to see the two of them together, like just have Hugh Jackman meeting Deadpool. But I would just love to see Wolverine and Deadpool in a movie by themselves, just absolutely causing, like, maybe they even fight each other, like they're enemies, like, you know. I would just love to see the two of them versus each other. I just think it would be so good.
Like, I don't know, I think you can see a lot of people, like, I think if you had a director who knew how to control like a Jason Momoa or whatever, Charlie Hunnam
as Wolverine.
Who's Charlie Hunnam?
He's the guy who plays Jax in Sons of Anarchy. I think. Rumor has it.
Hooligans as well.
Rumor has it is he's going to be the next Green Arrow. So I don't know if he can do two universes at the same time, but I think I don't know. I like him. I like him as a character. I think he's a cool actor. He is Green Arrow though, 100%. Like if you type in Charlie Hunnam Green Arrow, you'll see all like the comparison pictures and stuff. Like he was fucking born to be Green Arrow.
See, this is what we should do for next week. We should plan this out. We should have a bit next week. We should talk about episode 4 of, or whatever we do it next.
Yes.
Talk about the next episode of Falcon, and then we'll cast the X-Men. We all come with our list.
Yeah. I'll spend a week. I'll spend a week thinking about this. Hell yeah.
We'll pick like 5 or 6 X-Men.
Yeah.
And then we'll all come with our own list.
Yeah. 100%.
I like it. We could throw up like, I'll throw up Google on the screen as well. We can kind of Google people don't know who people are. I like that. Right. Yeah. Circa's gonna have a list. Let's go.
Yeah, see? Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at us.
It's interactive.
We're gonna start producing Marvelous Chats now, okay?
It's an interactive podcast. Yes.
And then you throw it up on YouTube, like Marvel casting of X-Men here. People are gonna find you on the SEO.
Imagine.
I got you.
Holy. Kevin Feige jumping in the Discord call.
Feige? I'll get him out of here. I don't want
Feige. Imagine Feige jumping in. Hey guys, let's talk. End that stream.
Take off the hat, Feige.
End that stream real quick, guys. Let's have a talk. Can one of y'all cast? Yeah. Sure.
Can y'all cast what?
What?
What are we casting, Limey? Oh, animals for the movies. Yeah, 100%. Well, we will 100% hire Limey.
Yeah.
She's so fucking Hollywood now.
Wakanda's got to be full of animals, right? So you're sorted.
Absolutely.
Yes. Guys, we're live just about 3 hours. So do you want to, will we call it quits for the night? I think we pretty much summed everything up.
Go lay down.
Yeah.
Make some chicken soup.
Oh yeah. Rest up, bro. You got a big stream tomorrow.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
We'll see how I feel when I wake up.
Guys, thank you so much for tonight. Great laughs.
Yes, sir.
Glad by all. We'll see you next week, and we're gonna talk episode 4.
Yeah.
Goodbye, you marvelous chaps. Thanks for the chat.
Bye.
Look at me.
Look at you. Look at the streamer.
I don't even know how to leave this call. Okay, there we go.
Bye, guys. Yo, guys, that was fun.